Hey guys. Oh, I see we have some people here. So, hey guys, if you are joining on this YouTube live, you guys know I'm not going to be able to hear you. So, I put a link down here in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but please head to that Twitter space so you guys can actually ask questions because they're not going to allow you guys to, or I can't hear you guys. I don't have the platform where I can hear you guys from YouTube. So please go to the link on Twitter. If you guys are familiar with Twitter Space, please head there and ask me questions. I'm waiting for you guys on Twitter Space. So that is why I'm not answering anything because we barely have anyone in the Twitter Space. So, yes, please try to head there so I can answer your questions. So once you guys enter the Twitter space, I'll be able to start this much anticipated live, and you guys can ask me all the questions you want. I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to join the Twitter space because I can't have you guys type your questions in the chat box. We're not going to do what we did last time. So if you guys are able to join in, that would be amazing. Still waiting on a couple of more people. I don't want to start without you guys. So. Thank you for joining, Mr. Crypto. Were you also able to join on YouTube as well? Oh, I have to make you a speaker. Give me 1 second. All right, so I just made you a speaker there. Okay, you're here. I see you on Twitter Space as well. I'm currently on the mic. You have to accept your invitation to speak, and you can that way you can speak, and we'll be able to hear you. So you have the mic, Mr. Crypto Disciple. Just made you a speaker. So yeah, I invited you to speak. If you want to accept is it allowing you to talk?
Okay, that's what's going on. Hello?
Perfect. Hi, how are you?
Alrighty, yourself.
Perfect. So yes, basically we don't have a lot of people today. I know some people came in and left, but that's okay. So we'll start off with you. Just to give a little intro. This is just for everyone to know Hope's journeys and ask all the questions they want to, and get all the misunderstandings out the way. So I think this is a perfect platform. So yeah, anything that you're curious about, any questions, I know we've had different interesting topics on YouTube. So yes, I want to hear what everyone has to say.
I'm not used to like really coming online and talking, so I'm trying to. But yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay.
I don't want to. I know you're probably getting tired of it too. Answering the questions after everybody's seen the Tariq Nasheed video.
Right.
And I know you're probably tired. Like, man, people keep talking. But I feel personally, it's really a way for you to capitalize on your channel too.
Right. And there's still some misunderstandings out there. So this is just for everyone to get to know me. If you have any questions, aside from, because I know he painted me in a bad picture, but I want to overcome all of that and just see what you guys want to know about Hope's journeys. And, because I know we couldn't get that last time. I had so many issues with the previous chat. So, yeah.
Okay, well, where can I start? So just curious, like I've been looking to, start off going visit Africa, right?
Right.
I've been looking at, studying, trying to do whatever research I can, maybe going online, seeing where would accept. Okay, how could I say this? What places are cool with, Black Americans or what they call African Americans? And after I've been seeing, I seen South Africa. A lot of people going to South Africa, Johannesburg.
Right.
I've been looking to that, but I seen Tariq Nasheed video, and I seen him show you, and that's how I found your video. So I was like, dang, wait, because I was looking at between South Africa and Lagos, Nigeria. I was like, wait, what? Nigeria don't fuck? I mean, they don't. I don't want to curse too much. They don't mess with us like that.
No. Tariq completely took everything I said out of context. So there's just a slang. There's, everyone has slang here, even in America. Anywhere you go, people are going to identify a certain type of group a certain way. So Nigerians are fun. Nigerians love to get to know everyone. They love to join together through music and etc. So I mean, you can always go to Nigeria. It's very modernized now, I would say. So it's just up to you. We're very accepting of everyone, but of course, we also have that negative side as well by judging. But it's a very, very fun vibe if you were to go to Nigeria. I loved it when I went there. So.
Oh yeah, people judge,
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah, you just have to know who you trust out there. You don't want to trust every single person because, of course, if you come there, as, American, they're going to think, oh, you have money, oh, let's try to probably rob him or something. Like there's different people, and it's crazy. So you just have to always be aware of your surroundings, of course. So, yeah.
Yeah, but what else I wanted to say? I was expecting to come on, but I said, I might as well. Okay, so it's not like if an African American goes out there, like it's just straight bash. Like you could come out there, you could visit.
Yeah, you can come out there, you can visit. Obviously, you'll stand out, because you don't have the Nigerian accent. You probably don't know how to speak pidgin English. It's something that they normally speak there. But yeah, if you were to go there as a tourist, and explain that, and you come with a nice attitude, they love respect. They love people that are just, respectful. So yeah, I think you would do good there. They would. Yeah, they should treat you right. Yeah, but it's just how you comport yourself, and yeah.
Because it's just crazy. I took my mom. Let me know if I'm talking too much, but I took my mom out to eat.
Wow.
We went to mall, whatever, and I bumped into a Nigerian woman. I was like, wow, this is crazy. she was by the clothes section. I heard her accent. I was like, "Excuse me, where you from?" She said, "Africa." I said, "What part?" She said, "Nigeria." I said, "Okay, I've been doing a little research on y'all, like the Igbo." She said, "Oh, I'm Yoruba." She said something about the Northwest, how Nigeria is going to be split into 4 different countries or something like that.
4 different countries. Oh no, I haven't heard of that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but I was like, she said, "So what are you thinking about going? Look, visit." I said, I was thinking more South Africa, they have more in common with us, slavery. And from what I'm hearing, no offense, miss, you seem nice, but I've been hearing y'all don't care for us. I said, y'all call us something called a kata.
Yeah.
She was like, a kata, what is that? I showed her some videos. She was like, I never heard that word before. I was shocked. I was like, what? She said, you gotta go for yourself. Don't just, do your research, but don't just listen. So I guess not everybody is aware of it.
Yeah. Research definitely comes in hand when you're going anywhere in this world, right? You never want to go somewhere and be lost when you get there. So I think with Nigeria, it's not that we're just very judgmental. We're very opinionated people, and we just, I don't know, sense of cockiness. But just comport yourself well. Even though you may not speak the language, if you find someone there that's very, very nice, I think you would do well. You would do amazing there. Yeah.
So curious. One more question. Like I don't know if the other guy wants to speak, but if you did, I know you had your issue with an American already, a black girl, that hit you or whatever.
Yeah.
If you was to be like, okay, I met a quote unquote African American man, how would your parents feel? I'm curious.
It would be
honestly.
It would be a negative reaction because they would be disappointed. They'll say like you're higher. We put you on such a higher position in life. Like you're supposed to stand out and be a lot more traditional than that. Going for African American influenced by America. That would be really trigger them, and they'll be like, this is a sign of disrespect. But
okay. No, you're saying the real. I want to hear the real.
This is truthful. These are things that you guys would not know. These are things that it's not till you get into that situation to where you'll see how they kind of mistreat. Like let's say you're in a relationship, they probably will talk about you in their native language, and I don't know, just because they know you don't understand that, they'll kind of benefit off of that, and just so it's really mean, but it's very good that you this platform is here to enlighten that, right? It's always good to know. So yeah.
Okay. But hey, I want to say this though. You did bring it to our attention though. I gotta give you that. People gotta give you credit on that.
Thank you.
Because I didn't know what the hell that was till I see that. Then I went on your channel and I typed in a cut on YouTube. I was obsessed with this shit. I was like, what is this?
Wow. So you didn't see that in any movies? I thought someone sent me a screenshot of movies to where Wesley Snipes said something that. Or
Sugar Hill.
Yeah, Sugar Hill. Yeah. So I thought you guys already knew what it.
I didn't pay no mind. I wasn't like, because I stay not too far from Yash. I stay in Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay.
Yeah, most of my family is in Ashton, Houston. I was born in Houston, but Louisiana is what I know. And we don't see too many Africans like that. I bumped into maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 Nigerians tops that I knew was Nigerian anyway, or African. It's not big like that in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Oh,
okay. Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing, but what I am seeing now is I'm seeing a lot of marriages like that, where we're seeing Africans marry Black Americans. So it's good. It's getting better. It's integration. I'm seeing the Wakanda movie, so everyone's knowing what Africa is, and I'm not seeing a lot of people ask, is Africa, like a country? And I'm not seeing those ignorant questions anymore. So I think 2022 has really done a great job at that integration and making sure everybody knows, that. So yeah, as well as Africans as well. They're being more accepting. Burna Boy is all the Afro beats now, so
right.
Yeah.
So, I think you went on mute.
Oh, I went on mute? Oh, me see here. I think I'm
Okay, I hear
speaking.
you now.
Yeah. So yeah. Any questions? Any other questions you may have? I know we have another listener here as well. Still waiting for. I thought we were gonna have at least some more people here, but I see some people in the chat. But yeah, any question, anything you want to clarify or know about Africa?
Shoot. I don't think through that. I noticed a lot of houses from what I've seen. A lot of houses are behind gates.
Yeah, yeah. They always Nigerians are crazy, especially with the NSARS and it being that it's a third world country as well. You always want to protect your surroundings because armed robberies happen there a lot more. And it's not like you can sit at home and call 911 and say someone broke into my house. You have to just take that initiative. So the first initiative they do there is just doing gates, gated properties. They can't do anything without it. Hiring security guards, 'cause it can get crazy. Yeah, it can really get
I
crazy.
don't know. I feel like, and some people might call me crazy. You might even look at me like, man, this guy's tripping. But I think I really truly believe this. Africa is gonna be like a powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Okay.
America ain't gonna be the same. I know it sounds crazy, but I see Africa being like the next root running shit. Like,
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Yeah, we have all the natural resources. We have the diamonds, the gold, and so it's a big powerhouse as well.
There's just some tension between, like, from what I understand, there's some tension between like Nigerians and South Africa. Because Walter Maya, I don't know you're familiar with him, right?
Walter Maya, I think I know him.
Oh, well, he's big on YouTube. He travels to Africa, different parts of Africa.
Yeah. I think I know him. He's from Ghana. I don't know.
Right.
Oh, okay.
He went. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead.
He went to. He was supposed to buy something. I don't remember exactly what, but he had to change his money over, and they told him he can't change his money because he's from Nigeria. They didn't care who he was, because Nigerians, I guess, known for scamming out there. Yeah. So they was judged, and they brought that up to say that African Americans, when y'all come out here, be on your best behavior, because when you do something wrong, people are gonna judge the rest of y'all like, okay, another one of them. Yeah. They make the whole group look bad. So basically, be on your best behavior, which makes sense. Right. Anybody would do that when it's just like out here. When Mexicans was coming, people would be like, "Oh, the Mexicans doing crime, this and that." That's every country, though. Yeah. But I think they're quite similar to Black Americans. We know this because they still have their oppressors still living there. The people from the Netherlands. So, that's why I feel we can relate to them too.
Yeah. I think you guys are just the best match there. But Nigeria is a well-known country as well. The music, the Afro beats. It's something that like South Africa and Nigeria, they're just the two countries you don't want to miss in terms of tourism and traveling. So yeah.
All right, so let me ask you. Yeah. So how would they feel? Your parents? How would they feel if you brought home a white?
I want to say they won't be as opposed to it as they would, Black Americans. They really, really despise Black Americans, and it's just because of like with the term akata, and what comes with that. Like they feel like, like Black Americans are not as quick to standing out in society, like trying to be a doctor. I know this. A lot of African parents like their children to be doctors, lawyers, things with the title on it. So they feel that African Americans Black Americans are good at that, but it's just probably just not enough. I know for my parents, they would say, like you can do way better.
The media play a part too.
Yeah, the media does that as well. With Will Smith, we all saw what Will Smith did, and it just ties into respect and manners, and that's the best what they always say. But
wait, hold on. Wait, Hope. So they talking about the Will Smith thing like that?
Well, yeah, because you remember with the Akata versus Africans video, I pointed out that a lot of Black Americans don't have manners and respect. So, just with Will Smith doing that big deal, that's yeah,
Wow.
it's kind of like validates it in a way. But yeah. But with to answer your question, they they don't. It's not preferable that they would want someone to be white for me to that to be my spouse, but they wouldn't be as opposed to it. So
Okay, cool,
yeah.
man. Yeah. Hey, you giving me a take? Yeah, I like hearing that real. You keeping it real. I like that.
Right.
So, but I feel like I'm talking too much. I'm gonna get quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can. There were a couple of people that came in. Let me see here. Let me communicate with some people on this chat and
Oh, you
see
good, for sure.
see if
I'm
they
chilling.
okay. Let me see here. All right, guys. For anyone that is tuning in, I'm not going to be able to respond to your chats. You're going to have to go to Twitter Space to voice yourself out. So for anyone that's not reading the actual chats here, like Oche or Uche, you're asking a question here, and in order for me to address it, we have to hear you out. We have to hear what you mean and what you feel. So please join the link that I just listed here. We already have a couple, well, at least one person in the Twitter space. So I really want to get to your questions. So please, please, please try and join the Twitter space so we can hear you out, okay? Everyone joining, because I think there's 4 people here currently. Let me see the participants and see who we have. Yeah. So I can, if you're just a viewer, that's fine. You can always stand in and, stay there and watch and view. It's okay. But if you do want to say something, I want to give you that opportunity. So please join the Twitter space. We had a couple of people in there, and yeah, I'm still waiting for you guys to join in. Still waiting for you guys to join in. So, Oche, do you have a Twitter space? But yes, let me go ahead and make this a little. Sorry. So, yeah, let me go ahead and make this a little interesting for everyone because it looks like we have 5 viewers and then we have one individual on the Twitter space. So, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about Hope's Journeys. And of course, as we get more people in the Twitter space, we can definitely have that conversation Q&A that, I wanted this to be. So, let me just go ahead and tell you guys about myself. And this is going to be recorded as well. You can always click on this video after it's uploaded because it's a live. So, yes, but any questions, please relate to Twitter Space. But if you're just viewing and you don't want to participate, that's fine. But yes, I just want to let you guys know, my name is Hope Okoro. If you guys didn't already know, I know a lot of people were asking, what is her name? What is her name? We need to get her out of this country. So yes, I'm here to explain to you guys and give you guys a brief of who I am. My name is Hope Okoro. I'm 26 years old. And, I have 2 degrees. I majored in business administration when I was like 21. And then just as of 3 years ago in 2020, I majored in nursing. And I graduated with my bachelor's. So I basically wanted to get into nursing to have more so of an impact in society. My parents were my primary motivation. They're like, if you want to stand out in America, if you want to have that title that most Africans have, and you want to do something positive for your society, why not be a nurse? Because they were like, either you can do a doctor, you can do pharmacy. And I was like, I just want to do the career that's going to take little to no time to complete, and I can still have that title, and still impact lives. So I decided to, get into nursing. Nursing was a beautiful field to get into. I love it. I love, interacting with patients. I love helping people. I love being that, not just a Black girl in society, like I think when a lot of people just think about a Black girl in society or any Black person, they're like, oh my God, these are like, like we just all know they'll probably think, oh, she's a hood rat or she, this. So you have to really dress professionally. Like as a Black woman, you don't get a lot of passes in life. So you have to really try to stand out in society and, dress professional, talk professional. And gladly enough, I learned that, and I was able to just soar, as a Nigerian immigrant coming to America. And I really am so proud of that. So the first thing I did decide to get into, because business was my passion. I felt like there's no way anything can go on or even move in life or, in economy if you don't have a sense of business and how business works. You have to be able to know, okay, spending, assets versus liabilities, things, important things like that. So I decided to just get my feet wet into that and know more about the American economy, business, macroeconomics, and all of that. And it helped. But when I realized that it wasn't as, I don't know, it wasn't as like something to like promote about. It wasn't something to boast about. It wasn't like a major accomplishment as someone that probably was a doctor, as someone that probably did CPR and saved a life, or, it's just you sitting behind your desk and looking at, finances and accounting. So I didn't want to just do that. I wanted to stand out in society and do something a little bit more, um, just more reputable, like literally when I used to tell people I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse, they would get, so they'll be like, wow, that's nice, or wow, my sister is a nurse, or wow, I know someone that's a nurse. So it's something that's a relatable profession that people can relate with. Um, so I didn't feel as confident saying, oh, I'm just a business manager or something like that. It's like, okay, you at times you can literally be a business manager without a degree. So it's like, what makes you stand out from someone else that didn't go to school and is doing the same job as you? So I didn't like that. I don't like that tier, and I didn't want to be categorized that way. So I decided to be a nurse, and it taught me a lot. It really did. Now we're done with the education. Let's get into my parental background. So, I come from Nigeria. I come from Imo State, Nigeria, but I was born in Houston, Texas. So, my upbringing basically consisted of the African mindset, always obeying your parents, no tattoos, um, just being a decent girl. And I mean, just coming to America, of course, there's always that culture shock. So, when I got my first tattoo, my mom was definitely upset about that. She was like, oh my God, who did I raise? But, of course, she understood later on that a tattoo is harmless and it can be removed. So, but yeah, it was always just, religion as well, going to church every Sunday. And, that's what really made me who I am today. That's what made Hope's Journey, have the confidence to even create a platform like this and, create videos on YouTube. So, yeah, that's basically it. My dad is from Imo State. My mom is from Enugu, Nigeria. So these are all, different states in Nigeria. And, they come from the, tribe Igbo. Let me see here. Okay. Got it. Okay. I'm just okay. All right. So they come from the Igbo tribe. The Igbo tribe is, we have many tribes in Nigeria. So we have the three foundational ones are Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo. So I come from the Igbo tribe. And in the Igbo tribe, it's pretty well popular in America. I see a lot of kind of like Black Americans trying to get to speak Igbo, and it's something that's well known and popular, especially in Houston. So yeah, that's just basically how I'm here. I have two sisters and one brother, so we're a total of four in my family. Growing up, it was pretty rough. I didn't come from riches, of course. I was in that middle class stance, but it's always good to just persevere and soar for the best. Yes. So, yeah, that's basically it about Hope's journeys. I don't have any children. I'm not married at all. So it's great. It's life is just it's amazing. And I want you guys to chime in. I want you guys to ask me anything you guys probably didn't know, anything like that. And if you guys cannot answer on Twitter Space, then that is fine. I will also go ahead and try to answer here on this platform. So we do have one question here. Let me go ahead and see. Got it. So we have an individual that mentioned, oh, okay. Hey, Frenchfield. I don't want to say the N word, but French, yeah. So French, but hello, yes. Okay. Let's start with Oche's question because she had a question, but I do not see her on Twitter Space here. Um, So kata is used by the westernized Nigerians that don't really know the culture. Shango is a deity in the Ifa religion and one of his qualities and attributes to the Akata. Wow, I did not know that, Oche. Um, you need to start saying my family as opposed to Africans. I'm African, and in my community, we would shun a black woman who brings home a white man. So I was speaking in respect to my own family. They like he was asking what would be better, or so. But yes, you are definitely 100% correct. There's no deviation when it comes to marriage, Oche, in Africa. You have to stick to your tradition. You have to stick to your culture. Um, so, for instance, me, I know all of my family has said, you are definitely going to marry an Igbo guy. It's not like it's going to be an arranged marriage, right? Like they're forcing you go. Some cultures do that. They do force you to go to enter into arranged marriage. But of course, my parents are not like that. But yes, in my culture, in my tradition, the first option there would be someone of culture, someone that is Nigerian. So you are definitely correct. Um, yeah. So the kind of nurse I am is a travel nurse. So I go from here to here to here. So yes, I don't know if you guys saw the Twitter space, but I want to actually hear you guys talk. We're promoting um, hearing you guys, right? Because I know I got so much backlash last time I did this little chat, and they were like, "Well, you're not being fair to us. We are not going to be able to even chime in, And I want you guys. I want to hear you guys. So this is the purpose of this. We're going to have at least 2 hours to discuss this, and we're going to hear everybody's questions. We want to include everyone into Hope's journeys. That is what this channel and this live is about. So, I guess before we continue, we have like a couple of people here. I would highly suggest you guys click on the link, and I'll wait for you guys as well to do that because I just don't want to, I want this to be like a whole big contribution. So I sent the link on here. I want to give you guys probably 15 minutes to probably come into the chat here. Let's see. Did everyone see the link? Are you guys seeing the link? I just don't want anyone to be angry out there and say, "Oh, you missed my question," or so it's just trying to be fair to everyone and hear what everyone has to say. So I'm going to be here for a while waiting on you guys to join. All right. I also don't want to take up too much time just talking and talking and talking. I want to make this about you guys, because I can say I've done this before. I can sit here and make many videos just addressing myself and, that. But of course, I want to, see what questions you guys have. This is a Q&A. This is an active Q&A, and it does require, you guys' participation. So I want to know what you guys think about Hope's Journeys. So I'll give you guys 5 minutes to join. In 5 minutes we'll start asking questions on Twitter Space, and YouTube is just a platform for more viewers to come into. So 5 minutes. I'm waiting on you guys. So not everyone has a Twitter account. Okay. I don't know if you need a Twitter account to listen. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't think you need a Twitter account to listen. So, guys, I've sent the link out to you. I am still seeing some questions coming in. You guys can create a free account. That is basically your entrance into, because I said there's no chats at all. I won't be answering questions via chat because it was too confusing. I got so much backlash when I did that last week. So I'm not going to do that again. You have to ask your questions on Twitter Space, please. Um, this is not the platform that I can make you guys talk. And, so the link will be listed below. So this is a get to know me tag. This is a get to know me tag. And if a lot of people here do not have like Twitter space, unfortunately, I can't answer. There's going to be a lot of questions on chat that I can't get to. So that's not what this is about. It's not about coming on here and typing a question and expecting me to answer it. You have to be able to interact via Twitter. So this was the purpose of this live. If you guys did not see the title, it's Get to Know Hope's Journeys. It's a 2-hour Q&A, question and answer. Everyone's invited, and you do need a Twitter space in order to interact. So the French field, that is what this is about. There's no beef going on. I have no words to say to anyone in a negative tone or negative context. So that's not what this is about. I hope you guys understand. This is getting to know me as a YouTuber. So we're still waiting. We're going to be patient. We're going to wait for everyone to join. This live does end at 6 o'clock, so I want you guys to know that. Um, Try to log onto your Twitter so you can ask your questions, because I won't be taking questions via chat. All right, guys. So we're going to be ending in the next 10 minutes, because, okay, if I don't have enough people on Twitter space, we will be ending in 10 minutes. So try to get in there with your in 10 minutes, guys. It's important. I see we have at least, okay. So hello, Fan Ran. I can make you a speaker if you have any questions. Let me see here. So I just made everyone a speaker. So if you have questions, you guys can definitely ask it. You would have to accept the request in order to speak. Fan Ran Kings, thank you for joining us. So we got 10 minutes before you guys, before this is literally going to be over. So let me wait. I think I just need to wait for probably you guys, because we only have, an hour more. This is going to be ending at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So try to join into the Twitter space. If you guys are hearing me, try to join into the Twitter space, because I want to give you guys an opportunity to ask your questions. Oops, something's in my eye. So yes, try to join. Don't have too much people. If we don't have too much people by by 5 p.m., we're gonna go ahead and end it. So you guys have 10 more minutes. We don't have a lot of people here. I think I'll wait to 5 o'clock before I say anything else. Okay, let me see if I can make you a speaker. So just as you come into the chat, I'm gonna allow you to speak. Let me see here. it's allowing me. You guys have a couple of more minutes.
I was gonna say I don't think too many people got Twitter.
Oh, you think they don't have Twitter?
Yeah, somebody was saying earlier. I didn't want to keep talking, so I didn't say nothing. But
yeah, if they
yeah,
wanna...
I seen someone in the chats. It was like, man, not everybody has a Twitter account. When he said that, he was saying that they can't answer their questions because they don't have a Twitter. You know what I'm saying?
They can create a Twitter. I mean, yeah, if they want to get to, because I can't make anyone a speaker here. I can't make them talk here. It's just chatting. Right. Yeah. So I think we'll probably be ending pretty soon. We don't have a lot of people that want to get to know Hope's Journeys. So yeah, we'll probably be ending soon. I'm just trying to see if we have any additional people that come in.
Curious, how you like Houston so far, though?
Houston is pretty good. I like it. I like that, there's a lot of Africans there, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Try Turkey Leg Hut?
I've heard it's pretty good. It's pretty famous out there, but yeah, no, not for me. So for anyone watching or just entering now, we will be ending this pretty soon. It doesn't look like we have a lot of people. So that's okay. I do have a get to know me tag already set up on YouTube, so you guys can click on that video and watch it. But yeah, this was just supposed to be for us to for me to get to know my YouTubers. I mean, my viewers. I love interacting with my viewers. You guys give me so many hints and details in terms of what's I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. So yeah, we'll wait 2 minutes. Let's wait. We'll probably wait to 5 o'clock. And if we still don't have enough Hope's Journeys viewers out there, we'll have to cut it short because I really do want to hear everyone. I want to interact with you guys. So yeah. All right, guys, for those watching, I just sent a chat out. So we will be ending this in the next, I want to say probably give it like what, 4 minutes. I didn't see a lot of people that have questions. And of course, I didn't want to make this all about me and just talk, 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 talk. I wanted to get some questions. And I didn't want to just read every single chat. I wanted you guys to interact via Twitter Space. So not a lot of people probably, you know what Twitter Space is. I know I probably didn't know. I didn't know what Twitter Space was at first. So yeah. So yeah. I understand. So um, I'm open to answering questions. That's not a problem. But I do have to be the host and the speaker here, in order to give my full account of my experience. So that's why everyone was supposed to be on this live, then head to Twitter Space to get all the answers you needed because we're waiting. We have at least a few people here. But yeah, we'll be ending in what, 3 minutes now? Like, we don't, there's not a lot of people here that want to know about Hope's journey. So um, yeah, you guys are always welcome to comment on a video. If you have a question, I do read the comments. So that's just another way to interact with me. I do have Instagram, and I also do have Twitter. So you guys have at least two other options on how to communicate with Hope's Journeys. So this is not the end of it. I just, we probably didn't have enough people here. There were probably, so I think last time we had some people. It's a controversial topic, but this, the purpose of this was to get to know Hope Okoro, and all of that. So, but yeah, that's okay, guys. We can always, if there's enough people that come up with suggestions and enough people that have a good cause, we can probably do another live again where it's just more interaction and people asking questions. So, but yeah, we are up on 2 minutes. Let me see here. All right, we had another person just enter. Hi, hello. Oh, hi, hello, Miss Deja. How are you?
Hi, yes, I came in to ask a couple questions.
Yeah, sure. You came right on time because we were getting ready to end. So yes, go ahead.
Great. So first, I do want to ask what prompted you to make that Akata versus African video, I believe last year.
Um, just to answer that, it's been controversial and it's been something said in like behind closed doors, and I wanted to kind of get that word out to society. I figured why not do it in 2021? It was a perfect time for me to just create that and get that notion out there.
Do you not think that that was offensive to Black Americans, given that I will say that we're just learning a little bit what that word means, but we knew it had some type of negative connotation to it. You don't think that's that would have sparked outrage?
If we're looking at it in a retrospect now, of course, thinking back, I probably wouldn't have made that video. But when I make my videos, there's no premeditation on it, right? So it's just me making my videos, me speaking on my truth, on my experience. That's what Hope's Journeys is about. But yeah, in retrospect, now a year after, I can see that it would spark some kind of controversy.
And then not only did you make that first video, but I saw that you had a follow-up video to it. Can you expand a little bit about that, the second part?
Yeah. On that follow up video, it was to, because I believe a lot of people were coming at me and saying, you're terrible, this and that. So I wanted to kind of do like a clarification, not an apology, but a clarification um, as to what that word meant. Because a lot of people said, well, it's a hate word. It's a hate word. You hate us, and I'm like, whoa, no, this is a term that I wanted to, just express to you guys and, make sure you guys know what it means. And that was why. That's the purpose of the second video, because I got so much backlash on the first. I didn't want everyone to run with that narrative that we have, like, oh, there's a black girl here that's racist. I wanted to clarify that, which I hope I did.
So it's interesting that I find it very weird that both of the videos are still up, given that you've received the backlash, the pushback that you have from Black Americans. I, being a Black American myself, I have rewatched both of your videos numerous times. I've taken screen recordings. I've pretty much circulated it around my network, including relatives, friends, just so they're aware of this language that specifically Nigerians have towards Black Americans for whatever reason.
Right.
So I find it very interesting that you still have both videos still up on your account, and you're still replying to comments on both of those videos as if, they don't matter.
Right. You're asking a really, really good question. I had another commentator ask the same thing, and was giving me his perspective on those videos and saying, like, wow, you really don't care. You still have these videos up. What is your intentions behind that? And my thing is, self-awareness, self-awareness. You need to know, I want that word to be profound. I want that word to have some kind of existence in society. So when, you probably hear that, you're not going to think, wow, this is a good word. And of course, this is, so it's just awareness. I want self-awareness to be there. I want people to know what that word means, um, and just have some awareness on it. um, People that did take offense to it, there was an apology video made on that. So I mean, I recommend everyone viewing that video and seeing that, there is a genuineness in Hope's journey. So but yeah, that's all it is: self-awareness and getting the word out there to society, because everyone has a view of what the word means. I'm African, so if you, let's say we were to probably ask another African, do you think that video should be taken? Is it a hate word? They will probably tell you no, and so I feel like the damage is already done. A lot of people did the self-recordings of the video. Why be a coward and take it down? So no, that's why I feel should still be up there for anyone that has lingering questions as to what that means. And then of course there's a follow-up as well to the video, the first video.
That's interesting. So one of the major things that I took from that very first video you put out, Akata versus Africans, was that you clearly mentioned that Black Americans are useless people.
Right.
And where do I even start? Are you aware of the history of Black Americans?
Right. So after we did the previous live chat, I got so much information that I did not know. I got a lot of really good context about Black Americans and what they've contributed, not just Martin Luther King, of course, because I said that was the only thing I knew. But of course, I understood the contributions. I understood why I'm here today in America. And we went into that for a good 2 hours on the previous live chat we had last week. And yeah, of course, I definitely do not relate Black Americans to those two words, useless and irrelevant. That was in the apology video. I said, sorry for using those terms. So yes, I understand.
Well, how do you come back from that? That's the funny thing is, And I don't mean funny is in terms of
not literal. Yeah.
LOL.
Yeah,
it's funny in terms of how doesn't this 26-year-old woman see how her ignorance is literally manifesting itself all across the world, the global worldwide net for everyone to see. And it's almost as if, I don't know, maybe it's a cultural thing where you don't really understand the implications, the circumstances, the consequences of what the hole you dug for yourself. But it is quite sad. It's quite sad. And so I asked that question, do you understand the history of Black Americans? I believe you just answered you were aware. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the answer. I am aware completely of that now.
Okay. Okay, so a question to follow up to that is, and one thing I want to mention before I even ask that question is that Black American freedmen, we are a people that are able to read between the lines of things. So it's quite interesting that I believe you think you're being clever, but we see through this. We see through the insecurity. We see through the brokenness. We see through the just lack of self-worth that you're displaying. We see through all of it. We can read through the lines of pretty much everything. That's how we have survived on this American soil for almost 500 years and are still here today. Hence, me being a descendant of several Black American freedmen and being able to speak to you today. But I asked you that question because I've rewatched that first video plenty of times, Akata versus Africans, whatever it's called. And I don't know if you noticed the intellectual booby trap that you got caught in, but you mentioned that, sure, and I'll explain. You mentioned that you were raised in a home where your parents instilled these ideas of Black Americans into your head. And so then you try to backtrack and say, well, no, it was some experiences I had with some Black Americans throughout my life that were negative. But you don't realize that, okay, perhaps that was a self-fulfilling prophecy, that because my parents instilled this anti-Black American hatred in my head, that's what it is. It's almost as if you don't see how those ideologies have manifested into your outright hate for Black Americans. And I mean, the evidence is clear. We have 2 videos of you spewing vitriol for a lineage of people that, one, got you here, because you wouldn't be on this soil had it not been for Black American freedmen, my ancestors, on both sides of my family tree. And 2, given that you're in the medical field, and you might want to look up the history of Black American contributions to the healthcare field in America. You wouldn't be able to even take advantage of that opportunity had it not been for my people. So it's just really strange how you don't see your own ignorance in the midst of all of this. And it's sad, even through the vitriol that I have received from, I won't say all of your people group, but many of them. I've heard the term Akata growing up. Didn't really care for it because I know my history. I know the shoulders that I stand on. I come from a very proud and reflective and loving people. So there's nothing that anyone can say to me that'll make me falter, right? And many of us feel that way. So it's really sad to see that I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's mental illness. I don't know if it's a cultural thing where you literally don't see the hole that you have dug for yourself. Like hope, like your name will never be erased from the internet.
Yeah.
Not even just that, but the things you have said about an entire lineage of people, that will never be erased from the internet. And I know you said you're a nurse. Great. I know you said you're a nurse. But when people look up Hope Okoro, and they see the things attached to Hope Okoro's name, you don't think that that is grounds for rejection from employment, from what, social interactions? Like, I don't understand how you don't understand the consequences that now come from the vitriol you spew on the World Wide Web.
Right. So I do want, like I was telling another subscriber, was it yesterday? You guys are entitled to feel how you choose to feel. Everything you feel is subjective. You're subjective to your thoughts, to how you feel, and what you say. Now, does that change my judgment? Does that make me go into this dark hole and, want to feel better about the situation? No. Anyone, like I said in my Twitter space, I made a tweet. Anyone still looking for the apology, rewatch the apology video. Watch it as many times as you can to hear me apologizing for what I've stated. In terms of employment, future employment, I don't rely on employers to pay my bills. It hasn't gotten me to where I am today. Even when I was a nurse, I'm not a nurse at this time or practicing. So I'm into different businesses. I'm into investing. I'm into crypto. I'm into so many other things that are helping me out and paying my bills. So I mentioned that in the apology video. Employment is tied into a slavery mindset. I don't want to work 8 hours for anyone. Even if it was my dream job, I love working for myself. But yes, I do understand what you're saying in terms of, the backlash that's going to come with Hope Okoro. But any YouTuber knows that. There's no way. You have to be like really, really dumb to like start a YouTube channel, be so bold, be so vocal on a platform that's public. Anyone can log on and see this. So you have to be very just silly to think that, oh, you're going to get away with what you say. Of course, every single YouTuber knows the risk they take whenever they come on YouTube, create a video, and say their opinions. Newscasters, they know this.
I'm gonna cut you off right there, respectfully.
Okay.
I hear what you say, but I obviously, or you obviously, sorry, you obviously don't understand the long-standing consequences of your words. I know you just mentioned you were into crypto, you're self-employed, great, but what happens when crypto no longer exists? Didn't something just happen with Bitcoin or something? Where
I don't know.
When it was found out that it wasn't a sustainable career option? What happens when YouTube is erased from our minds, or when it's not even a feasible career path anymore? What happens after that? How do you survive? You're gonna have to work for somebody.
No,
somebody's gonna have to know your name.
I'm sorry.
Your name's gonna have to come across a job application one time in the future. You don't understand that?
So I want to cut you off there because
that's what's mind-boggling to Black Americans. Because we know that every single thing we do is being calculated by other people, and so we move in a way that prevents that.
All right, so I did want to go ahead and answer you, Miss Deja, because you asked me a question, and I allowed you to speak. You identified that you are foundational Black American, which is sweet, and I respect that. But you're coming on here with a negative, condescending tone. You're not wanting Bitcoin to work. You're not wanting YouTube to work. I am a self-sufficient. I know a lot of people in the comments really hated to know, like, man, she's not a nurse anymore. We can't ruin her career. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I love trading. I love doing Bitcoin. I love investing my money. I love making smart money decisions. So I know you're thinking of the future. Only God can say if Bitcoin's going to crash or if it's going to go do numbers on us. Only God and, the future can tell that. But I do understand where you're coming from. If all those things do fail, of course, I would have to rely on some other investments, So there's many things that, Hope's Journeys can get into, real estate. I definitely started that last year. I will not be revealing those property addresses, but yes, I started that as well, and it's been a process. So yes, you I understand what you're saying, but anyone trying to tear down Hope's Journeys names, it's up to you. You're gonna have to start fundraisers. You're gonna have to do all of that on your own. It's subjective to how you feel. If you feel that way, you feel that way, but I can never change how you feel. If you're looking for an apology, please head to the apology video and get your apology. Um, because I'm not going to keep repeating it. This is for everyone to get to know Hope's Journeys. It's a professional live Q&A. So you cannot talk over anyone in this channel, in this Twitter space, unfortunately. I know they tried to do that previously, but no one's going to do that today because it's professional. A lot of Black Americans kind of have a hard time being professional and having respect and manners. I said that, so add that to your lieu of complaints you have about me. So yes, I am going to put you back on, Deja, and I'm going to make sure I'm mute so no one can talk over each other. Go ahead, Deja.
Sure. So you said that I'm trying to tear down your name. I have no interest in that. I don't get on the internet to troll. I don't get on the internet to do crazy stuff. I love to research. I love to learn. And through my research and through my learning, I landed on Hope's Journey YouTube page. So no, I'm not trying to tear down your name. I would never. I don't have that. I don't carry that in my heart for anyone. Now, Hope Okoro tore down Hope Journey's name by the vitriol you spewed, and that's the point I'm trying to make. Black Americans aren't looking for an apology from you, Hope. We're really not. We're laughing together because we know that had it not been for the perseverance, the ingenuity, the innovations, the loving spirit, all the different movements we have created as a lineage, specifically as a lineage, I want to emphasize that Hope Okoro wouldn't be here speaking to us. Hope Okoro would be back in Nigeria, living whatever life she lived. And so that's the point that we're trying to get across to you. Whether it implants into your brain and makes sense, I don't know, but we're not seeking an apology from you or anyone who carries vitriol in their hearts for a lineage of people, the very lineage of people specifically that got you here. Because I want to emphasize that. I want to re-emphasize that each time. The very lineage of people who allowed you to sit in the fancy luxury apartment, to shop online from the comfort of your own home, to do whatever on this American soil. So it's this collective learning that Black Americans, including myself, are currently undergoing, where we see how hateful every single group of people has been towards us when we have been nothing but open and loving. And the fact that anybody is able to even be here is because of our sweat equity. It's just like mind-boggling. It's laughable. And that's what we're doing. We're laughing. Yeah, it hurts. I'm not going to ever say it doesn't hurt. It really does hurt because the hate is coming from all groups of people. It does hurt, but we're a resilient people. Our history, our documented history shows that. No one else has done the great things that we have done. No one else has laid out a blueprint for the globe to copy, but Black American freedmen, but foundational Black Americans, but ADOS. We're all the same damn lineage. We just call ourselves different things. And even if we don't identify with any of those titles, we're still Black Americans because that's our experience. We are a unique group of people, an amalgamation of peoples here created uniquely on this American soil. And everything that has sprung out of us literally being bred on farms to be the people that we are today is what the world functions off of culturally. Because I know you love to say we don't have a culture. But the fact that you're even sitting here, Hope, is our culture. Are you familiar with the Naturalization Act of 1965? Also known as the Immigration Act of 1965 that allowed groups of immigrants to come here, Hope? Are you aware of that? Of the very same people who you say are a useless people are the very same people that allow you to sit here and speak to us across this platform. Are you not aware of that?
Right. So Miss Deja, I do understand. I am aware of the act, but you have the same. You're saying the same thing, and it's sounding redundant. Of how ungrateful Hope's Journeys is, and that's what it's making it sound like. Like I don't appreciate you guys for doing what you do. That's why I keep saying if you do need an apology, that video is still up. You can always refer to that, watch it for 2 hours and 48 minutes and I hope you feel good from hearing the apology, but I have no intentions of living that moment again because it's already recorded. So if you do want all the answers to that in terms of how I appreciate Black Americans, that video was already made. So I can't keep, addressing that. So yeah, if you want to ask other questions, I can probably contribute more and give you a precise answer. So yeah.
Sure, and that was me in the chat. I was asking, you say you were a nurse or were a nurse. Mm-hmm. What exactly is what is the percentage of Black Americans that you care for in your profession?
As I stated, nursing was something that I kind of took a break from in 2022. I was so really interested in about crypto, and it's been doing well for me. But to answer your question, when I was in Houston as a nurse, it comprised of mainly Latinos and Black Americans would be what, 20%. I think that's a fair answer, 20%, but majority was Latino.
And when you were caring for those Black American patients, did you ever consider the rich history of those people?
I
asked that because as Black Americans in healthcare, we tend to, especially when we're serving our own, we tend to not just see that person as an individual, but of a literal survivor of genocide in this country, right?
Right.
And so we pour ourselves into those people. We treat them as family. And so I wonder, did you, since you said that was something you did in the past, did you carry on that same behavior when you were assisting or treating those patients, Black American patients?
At the moment, I didn't keep that in mind, to be honest. I mean, I saw Black people just like me. We share the same color, so I didn't see any difference if that's where you're trying to get at and think that I would treat them differently. No. I saw them the same way as I was. So just like I'm treating a Nigerian person, just like I'm treating someone from Ethiopia, Canada, anywhere in the world you come from. So I didn't, and that's what we're supposed to do at nurses. We're not supposed to mistreat anyone. So I hope that's not where you're trying to get at, because I do take great offense to that. I worked hard to be a nurse, and you can't be racist as a nurse. You just can't. So I treated my patients I take health very important, and that'll be the most evil thing for anyone to ever do, is to mistreat someone because they're different. In a nursing field, in a healthcare field, like they need help. That's when you're the most vulnerable. So I didn't keep the black civil mindset like you're asking me, but of course I did treat them with respect, Deja. Yes, I did.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you did. I really hope that they got top quality care from you, given what you have said towards the very same people that you served in your profession. So it's curious to know.
Oh, yeah, of course. They train us that for 4 years. So you have to know that as to be a nurse. You cannot judge anyone. So, but yeah, I appreciate. We do have another speaker, Sub-Saharan. You can go ahead.
Why, hello. And I have a question up there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, you had a question? I can wait. Oh, well, no, just say it.
Want to go, Deja?
Sure, since it was still a bit on topic. So you just mentioned that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you can't be racist as a healthcare provider, correct?
Yes, you're right.
So, oh Lord, trying to keep my respect. You can't be racist in any job. There's laws that for that. You know what I'm saying? Like you get sued for that. So, wait. So I want to say, are you familiar, Hope, with the Black maternal health crisis in America?
Yes.
As a nurse.
As a health professional, I am aware of that. A lot of Black women are losing their lives more as opposed to white women in that pregnancy time, and delivering. So I'm fully aware of that. And, I'm hoping for a better cause and for this to end. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm glad you're aware. So I asked that because that is quite literally one of the most modern examples of racism in healthcare. And I say this as someone who has a public health background. Racism in healthcare exists. And why does racism in healthcare exist today? Because the American medical system is literally predicated on racism of specifically Black American people. Are you familiar with Dr. James Marion Sims, the quote-unquote father of modern gynecology? And how those procedures were even validated and practiced in modern times is because he practiced on Black enslaved women's bodies without anesthesia.
Oh my God.
Without any of that. So, but I'm not even really trying to get into a history lesson. I'm trying to paint a picture of something you just stated, that racism cannot exist. And we quite literally see racism existing, not just in healthcare, but in all facets of society, because America is a racist society. So I'm trying to, and really this is for whoever's listening and who might catch it on the playback, because there's plenty of Black Americans out here who, if they are listening or if they will listen, will understand the undertones of what I'm even saying to you, Hope, right? You can't erase racism within a racist society. So the fact that you even said that you cannot be racist while working in healthcare is alarming.
No, that's what everyone should know. I don't commend or promote that. So I want to say that no one should be anyone listening should hear this on YouTube and on Twitter. It's not something that's good. So that's what I stand for.
Well, hey, Miss Libra, I don't know what your name is, Hope. Well, yeah, you became famous after that video.
Oh, I clearly see that. I see that.
I saw that video fucking like 6 months ago.
6 months, the initial one, the Akata versus Africans.
Yeah, maybe I don't know when it came out, but I saw it ages before you became famous, ages ago. I don't know if it was 6 months.
Was that 2022 or last year?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think last year, or I don't know, something like that. I don't even remember. I know I saw it a while ago before you it became famous.
Oh, okay.
Damn, you got famous from this shit though. But like,
I don't know how famous I got. It all started with Tariq and someone sending him the video and mistaking me for a racist black girl. And I don't know. I just
there's loads of videos of Black Americans talking shit about Africans.
Right. Well, I think they chose the most updated one on YouTube, and if you look at the most updated one, here is Hope's Journeys. So I don't know why
there's hundreds of videos like stemming for over 10 years or longer of black people talking shit about Africans.
Black people talking about Africans or Africans talking about
black people saying shit like they'll say they make jokes and say all sorts of stuff or we have flies all over our face where we live in huts, all sorts of stuff. They talk about us on this app all the time, on Twitter, for Clubhouse, wherever, Facebook.
Right, but I feel like they hold us to some sort of accountability because we're the immigrants, we're the African immigrants here, and we have to, but we also have to do the same citizenship and all of that to even be here. So, I mean, the fact that they ridicule us, is definitely something that they can change. And, if they feel that they don't identify with their kata word, I feel like change is to come and they should accept change and welcome it. So you won't be this, angry person or aggressive, and you won't be associated with those kind of terms and slurs that come along with it. So.
Yeah, but you made one measly video, but like Tariq is talking shit about Africans all the time, and people are following him talking shit in the comments, and like I mean like you made one measly video, but like I mean yeah they reacted and got upset, but like they do this all the time. Black people do this all the time. We're Africans.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean, sub-Saharan, and it's like we have to be the obedient children, the obedient ones, and the yes mans to everything.
Yeah, we have to kiss their ass nonstop. We have to respect them, all that bullshit.
And I feel like it's a really bad combination, but and then the ironic part about it is then when you now create a term about them, you now try to tell them about themselves, it's a big issue. It's you're fired. Like literally, even you see this in jobs as well. I remember when I was 20 years old, at my first call center job, and I was trying to explain something to the supervisor, and she said, "You know what? You're fired. I'm sorry, I can't deal with you." And this was a Black American supervisor. So it's just one-sided, and they have the biggest ego. And like I said in my first video, they're very, very entitled, and it's like, you fought for your rights, good, you made it, we got it, but how about being accepting to an African immigrant that came here and is trying to make it as well, so
I see black people. I see black people say shit about other groups like Mexicans or Chinese and that. But if any of them say nigger back, like it's over for that person. But like I see them say stuff and nobody says anything, and then like if somebody says an N-word back or says something back, it's like that person's canceled instantly. Whether it's real life on social media or whatever. But like I've stayed since I was like 14. I mean, like all the black kids made fun of African. They made fun of me for being African, and other Africans told me the same. I don't know if it happened to you. It doesn't happen to everyone.
Me too as well. They made fun of my name because it's so like different and a lot of syllables. Make fun of my hair. Yes, so I can relate with you, Sub-Saharan.
Yeah, well, some Africans say it never happened. Some Africans told me it never happened to them, but like a lot of Africans told me it happened to them. But like, I mean, they were like, "Oh, get over it. That was school. Oh, we made fun of each other." But like, it became a pattern even after I graduated school. I get a job, I'll go be in different social spaces with Black Americans. They start talking shit about Africans, like, well, I'm in community college or fucking work. I can't lie, I made a mistake. I went to jail one time. It was just like a tiny little mistake I made when I was younger. And like, when they found out I was African, it was over. Like, they started talking, they're making all these jokes, saying all this shit. You live in huts, this and that. So, I mean, why can't I say something back too? Like, which I do on this app. I talk shit to a lot of FBA. I say disparaging things, but like, I mean, hey, black people talk about us. Like, it became a pattern after school. Like, it was a pattern. Like when I'm 28 right now, but like I had a job last year, and some lady just started. Yeah, I worked at a call center, and like some lady out the blue just like started saying shit to me because I'm African. So like, I mean, I do it back. I say stuff back, but like, I offend people. But like, I'm known as a troll out here. Like, I go into different Black spaces to talk a lot of shit. But like, I mean, hey, these people talk about us, so why can't we talk about them?
Right, right. I feel like they, of course they have that leverage, and they feel like, okay, basically because you're not original foundational Black American like me, I have more rights than you, and it's a lie. When we're in the face of a white person, they're all going to see us as Black people. They don't want to know what country you come from. So, but they this entitledness, and like I said, the great point they made up about Martin Luther King fighting for our rights and every single person of color being in America today because of them, I accepted that. I agreed. But I'm still seeing the same aggression towards one another, towards each other. I've seen Black Americans fight over things and, um, become exaggerated and, literally just really vile with each other. And with Africans, we're more so nicer and we treat everyone with respect. And the moment you want to tell someone and call someone out on their mess, it's a big deal. It's a problem, and we're just an exception to society. And it sucks. You cannot do anything with a terrible mindset if you don't want to welcome change. No one's gonna like fund your business. No one's going to even want to do business with Black people. Like literally during the whole George Floyd saga, a lot of people were like, they were literally begging for people to want to even entertain Black companies because there's just no business. No one like really trusts the Black Americans to not have that aggression, not be angry, not like just so it's a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like they need to be accepting of change. Stop calling everyone out on what you think they're doing. Stop reaching out and having your own narrative and thinking you're the end all be, because there's always someone that's going to be above you. There's always going to be someone that does it better. So I think just once they accept that, become more accepting to their flaws, then maybe they'll see some sort of change in America. But I really don't think racism between whites and blacks are going to end just because of that angry Black connotation that's associated with Black Americans. They have to let that anger go. Um, doesn't mean you should stop fighting. Definitely fight for what's right. Definitely fight for when you see someone being mistreated by police. That fighter attitude and mentality is what got everyone here today, and what's got justice for Judge Floyd. So I think that's very, very good.
Hope, are you aware that it was our quote unquote anger as Black American freedmen that got you here? Do you not understand that? Because I don't think you paved the way for us to come here. It would have happened anyway. They see you? I don't think you paved the way for Africans to come here. We absolutely did. You were like, oh, let Africans come here. I don't think you guys. We absolutely did. Sub-Saharan. I can't find that anywhere. Any research. Well, you're misinformed. The Immigration Act of 1965 allowed every group to come. They came up with that. No, we did not. They came up with that. The government came up with that on the government website.
So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone because, like I said, I want everyone to have a chance to speak. It is important. And that's the title of this professional live Q&A. So if you're going to have that counter back with each other, please have respect and be on mute and allow that person to finish. Now, Sub-Saharan was definitely talking. He raised his hand. And Deja, you've kind of mentioned this previously. It sounds like you're really in need of an apology or someone to bow down on you and tell you, thank you, thank you. That video was already done last week. I can't keep telling you the same thing. It was done last week where I apologized to all FBAs. Please rewatch it. We can't rehash the same titles and bring it over here to trend on this new live because we have people that have valid questions and want to ask questions that are really important. And not saying your questions are not, but you're being redundant and asking the same thing, So, but I'll let Sub-Saharan go, and then you guys can have your conversation. Go ahead, Sub-Saharan.
Yeah, the Immigration Act of 1965. I read about that. Like, I looked into that. You guys you don't think about us. You're not thinking about African immigrants or Caribbeans. Like, they just came up with that right after they gave us a rush. They were just like, oh, yeah, we should let Black immigrants come here. But it wasn't because of you guys. You were like, oh, we want black immigrants to come here. You don't think about us, dude. You didn't even know we were coming. Like people, if I talk to a fucking black American, he's not gonna know that I'm Nigerian until he sees my name. Like you don't think about us. You don't think that you're gonna encounter us. Like I mean, is this realistic? You know, I hear this all the time. Oh yeah, you guys fought for black immigrants to come here. You didn't fight for us. You fought for yourselves, and then the government decided, oh, let black immigrants come here, or let more immigrants come here from other countries, not just Europe. But yeah, I don't believe that. Oh yeah, you fought for us to come here. You're not thinking about us. Like, come on, be realistic. You don't think about Africans on your daily. Do you think about Africans every day? No.
Well, I have a rebuttal to that, and it.
Okay.
First, I'll say I'm not here to argue. I'm here to really I'm doing this for my people, right? Who watch the video.
You don't see us as your people.
Well, that's a good thing that you say that, Sub-Saharan, because it was your people group. You're Nigerian, correct? I see the green and white flag. Congratulations. Mm-hmm. I love y'all's cultural pride. We all should have cultural pride. But it was quite literally different tribes within your very people group that even got us to America. The complicity in the transatlantic slave trade got us here. So what do you mean? The fact that we even extended an arm to the very people that discarded us from their continent says a whole lot. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue your point, you know? If you feel that we don't think of you, that's that's your position to stand on.
This is true.
Okay, if that's what you think, great. But
do you think
it behooves you to not continue to dig yourself into a deeper hole? I'm one. Hold on. I'm one person, but I represent a lineage, and so you can speak to me that way. But when other people hear this, when other people who were misinformed about the decades-long vitriol that specifically Nigerians have had, and wait, before you say, well, we made fun of you, sure we did. I'm not going to deny that. We crack jokes because that's how we have survived in a world that hates us. But there's so many social scientists out here who have documented, have books, videos, podcasts, panels of documented histories of decade-long vitriol from all immigrant groups towards Black Americans. That's not something we're pulling out our ass. And excuse my mouth, I don't like to cuss. But it's not something we're pulling out our ass. So, yeah, you can say we crack jokes, and we don't deny that. We crack jokes. We crack jokes on each other. I grew up literally cracking jokes and having jokes cracked on me. I cried sometimes, but I got over it. And I loved on my people because that is how we have functioned. Did I carry that whatever into my adulthood? No, because it holds no weight, because I know my people. I know my people enough to know that just because they made a joke and just because that joke hurt doesn't mean that I don't like my people. I love us. I love us because I know what we've been through. And because I understand a lot of how we function as a people in this country because of what we have been through. It's not for other people to understand. And it's not for other people to understand and tell us how we should navigate in a country that we built, in a country that we have extended to other people for them to come over here and dump on us. And especially West Africans, who we know how white people talk about y'all. Black Americans, we talk about it the same way. Hold on, Sub-Saharan. I'm gonna land you. I'm gonna give you the mic. I love to pass the mic, and I'm not usually on with it, but I am right now. I'm sorry. I'll pass the mic in a minute. The way that they talk about y'all, like this is where I see the disconnect. I see the disconnect that a lot of your people do not understand that had it not been, and currently even still, had it not been for Black Americans as a group, a lineage, a smaller dot on the map, had it not been for us fighting, and will we continue to still fight for you all today, you wouldn't have the opportunities. You wouldn't be able to attend our HBCUs. you wouldn't be able to join groups that are reserved for Black people, because quiet as it's kept, Black was just a term that described Black Americans. We extended that term to other melanated peoples when they came over here. We didn't have to do that, but we did. And so to say we're a hateful people, that hurts. But I don't take that hurt and say, well, I hate all Nigerians. No, I don't hold that hate in my heart. And so what I'm saying, I'm going to wrap up, so I want to pass the mic. My mouth is getting a little dry. It's crazy to see how literally everyone who Black Americans have extended their hearts to, our bleeding hearts, have done nothing but call us cicadas. Even before they knew us, they call us cicadas because of what they saw on television, because of what white people told them. Call us hateful and aggressive, and it's quite funny though, because if it weren't for that aggression, if it weren't for that, as we call it, no people groups would be here enjoying the American comforts that they currently enjoy. And Sub-Saharan, before you say, well, that's not true, I don't know what to tell you. The evidence is there. And that's why I say it behooves each of you, not just yourself and Hope, but your people group and other people groups who have anything to say about Black Americans that is negative. It behooves all of you to really understand that biting the hand that feeds you, the hand that got you over here, it's not smart to continue to bite that hand. No, there's lots of political movements out here that are trying to undo what we have done for every people group, not out of hatred, but because we're seeing that we got them over here, we loved up on them, we invited them to the cookout, we invited them to the home, everything. We've allowed them to check off the black box and take opportunities from us. We've allowed them to do that for so long. And they continue to dump on us. So why would we want to ally with a people that hate us because of what white people have sold them? And that's really the point that all of us Black Americans are trying to make. We don't need an apology, but we would love to see some type of recognition of history, right? Because it makes no sense to run around with multiple degrees and say how educated you are, but yet when we point out the history, when we present the facts, the statistics, the data, everyone is misinformed. But how can that be if you're so educated? How can that be if you've spent years in school becoming educated? How can it be that you're so misinformed? And that's the angle that Black Americans are coming from. We know how to survive in a system of white supremacy. And a lot of you who are not Black Americans do not. All we're saying is this is a cautionary tale. So to bite that hand that has fed you and fed you, the only friend that you've had, when you don't have that friend anymore, who are you going to run to? That's all we're saying. And I let him out playing.
Yeah, from my experience, well, actually, no, from the research I've done, yeah, you're saying that, yeah, you it's because of you guys that work here. It was just hard to believe. Like when you go, like Nigerian immigrants, they don't just migrate to America; they migrate to Canada, UK, and what's it called? It wasn't because of some group that they got here. It was because the government allowed them. That's the reason why. And then you're saying, oh, like you took care of us, you did it, you didn't. I don't know. My parents came here from Nigeria, and Black Americans do anything for them. They just got their education and got a job, and then took care of their kids. But I mean, you said a lot of things, so I didn't digest almost everything you said. But like, oh yeah, you're saying that Yeah, you guys made fun of each other, which is true. Yeah, you guys roast each other. You're saying you guys told us that it's bad for us to come from where we come from. Like, where we're from is a bad place. Like, it's bad to be us. It's bad to be African. It's bad to be Nigerian, Ghanaian, whatever. It's bad to be African. So, I mean, I want to reciprocate, which I do on this app. I reciprocate. I'll tell you guys, it's bad to be Black Americans. A lot of Black Americans growing up have told me that it's bad for me to, like, my identity is bad. It's bad to be African. So, like, I try to just do the same, but, like, I try to say stuff back. But, yeah, you guys say, we say Akata, but, like, I mean, I can tell you a bunch of stuff that, like, Black people have said to me growing up. I mean, I still have Black friends growing up, like, but, like, it's just, like, the way you guys perceive us. I mean, from my experience, white people, compared to, like, I've dealt with more xenophobia from Black people than white people. Like, if this is like a bar chart, I'd say, like, white people are, like, 25%. Yes, I've met racist white people, but Black people are, like, 75%. Like, this whole talk that it was up to you for, like, it was up to you guys for us to come here. It wasn't up to you guys. Like, I mean, this is a country that, like, fucking discriminates against you guys and discriminates against minorities. And, like, so it seems like you don't have so much power, you know what I'm saying? It's not up to you guys. Like, you don't have power over us. And then, you're saying that, I think you said something about that on paper that we write that we're Black. Yeah, we can write that we're Black. It's not up to you guys. It's not that's not in your control. Like, yeah, the government sees us both as Black. You know what I'm saying? So we can say that we're Black. But I don't know. There's just so much stuff that you said that is just I didn't digest everything. I don't even remember most of what you said. I just remember, like, some of the I say about like 50% of what you just said.
Well, good, Sub-Saharan. I'm glad something stuck. Because I hate to be long-winded, but that was on my heart to say. And a lot of us as Black Americans, we say that those are the ancestors speaking through us. So that was my ancestor speaking through me. So I apologize that
you didn't pave the way because, like, Africans go to fucking New Zealand. Like, there was no Black people there before that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Like, Black people, they traveled to Australia. They migrated to Australia. Who paved the way for them to come there? They just came there. Like, it's the government that allowed them. It's the government that allowed us, and we just live life. That's it. That's all it is. Not all because of Black Americans.
Absolutely, it is the government's doing. But do you not think that as
it wasn't? You guys were thinking like, I didn't see. I saw in the '60s, like in the pictures I see. Oh yeah, we want our rights. This that. It's not. We want Africans to come here. I don't see any picket signs saying, we want Africans and Jamaicans to come here. I never saw that. I always saw we want our rights. We want to stop segregation. It wasn't because of y'all.
Okay, Sub-Saharan. That's what you think. Great.
Can you show me? Send me a picture. Send me a picture. We want Africans to come here. Show me, please. Then you're right. I lost.
Well, I don't necessarily think it was a sign, but there was plenty of legislation, and
Show me, please. Show me everything.
Can I speak, please? It sucks that you say that because those Black Americans who are perhaps older than me, who have grown up in these movements, who hold some type of political leverage, when they hear that, something goes off in their brain that's like, that's disrespectful.
Good, right? I'm glad.
And I really do hope that you get to speak to those of our Black American elders who grew up through that, because I did not. But I am currently learning more and more of the history of it, and it is really upsetting to hear people say, well, we were, as Black Americans, focused on self and no one else, when we know, whether or not other people believe it or not, that nobody else wanted you here. So if we hadn't pushed our white American counterparts a little bit more aggressively to say, hey, there's people that look like me across the pond. Why can't they come here just as you bring people across the pond that look like you here?
Man, y'all wasn't thinking about us.
Great. But if you say that's Sub-Saharan, that's great. I'm not here to.
I don't know. From my experience, you guys.
Well, but that's a limited thing.
You see us as Black people. You see us as an inferior Black people.
As inferior? Okay.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
God, weird that you say that, because I wanted to respond to something you mentioned also about xenophobia. And I mention this whenever I speak to my continental cousins, because it's weird that, and not even just...
You think you're the better version?
No, actually I don't, because I know that at the end of the day, my black skin means nothing to those in power. So what is the comparison? What do I need to compare?
I know it's like, oh, maybe I should get over, like, oh, like when I was a kid. But I told you, like, it happened even when I was older, like when I meet Black Americans. But like, yeah, words hurt. Like certain things you say to people can trigger people. Like they
absolutely. And I'm not taking that from you. I'm not.
So
if somebody, you don't think there's people of my own lineage that I don't necessarily care for, of course, but that doesn't make me hate my entire people group. That's a little mentally off my rocker to do so, I think. What was I going to say? Oh, I was...
when I was 14, I got bullied by this like black and Jamaican dude. Like he was a super senior. He was 20, and then like I hit him up like in 2015. I was like, hey, you were talking shit and this and that. And then I crossed paths with him in Chicago, and I started pushing the shove. He's like, I'm sorry. I was like, no, sorry, bitch. And I started pushing the shove. Like, I remember all that shit you were saying. I'm like, because I'm African. Because like he was saying all these horrible things because I'm African. So I had to, get my revenge. So I did. No offense, because you're Black American. I called him a cotton picker. I was like, your ancestors were slaves. Ha ha ha. Because he said all these horrible things to me back in the day. I saw him in a club. It was the weirdest shit ever. Like when I went to school with this guy in Wisconsin, this dude's from New York, and I saw him in Chicago. It was weird.
Okay, so
I didn't apologize. Like, I didn't accept the apology. That's my personality. I wanted to fight.
Okay, so 2 things I wanted to say, and then I'll probably leave. The first thing was you said something about xenophobia. And
hey, you gave me xenophobia, the guy I'm talking about.
So it's interesting that word is being thrown around, especially when there's instances of actual xenophobia, right? But so I say this to say, how can the very people group that, and again, whether or not you want to accept documented fact or not, how can the very people group that got you here hate you? That the logic ain't logic when you think about it. So that's the first thing I wanted to say.
I don't know. Ask yourselves that.
It's odd to.
You see these tree followers of what they say about Africans?
So are they saying it out their neck, or are they responding to vitriol that they received from those same people?
Oh, I don't know what it is, but like I'm here in the clubhouse, all the diasporas together talking in like clubhouse. Okay, people are talking in groups, and like an African will talk, and like all these black people like, oh, you got flies all over your face, you stink, go back to Africa. Or like, I've seen that like multiple times. Like some African lady was talking, like they were holding a room, and some African lady started talking, and then like all these Black Americans started talking shit. Go back to Africa, you African booty scratcher, this and that. She's like all this xenophobia from these Black Americans, and it goes unchecked, which is true. It goes unchecked in real life, and what's happening.
So. No, I'm not, and I'm not dismissing what you just said at all. I'm just mentally exhausted from these conversations.
You probably made fun of Africans yourself when you were in school.
I absolutely did not. I had no reason to. Did I pick on my own people? Of course, because we acknowledge that we shared that same culture, and so doing it to each other.
Oh well, most Black people be like, "Well, I'm not African. Fuck Africa."
I have African descent, but I am not. I can't go to Nigeria and say I'm Nigerian. That's not true. And that brings up a bigger point of why these conversations such as this are even prolonged, because there's a lack of understanding of who Black Americans are, lineage-wise. Like, because we say we're not African does not mean that we're not acknowledging that we have African descent. Of course we do. Where the hell else did we come from? And anybody who denies, any Black American who denies African ancestry is a fool. But when we say that we're a different lineage, meaning that we carry African descent, we carry European descent and Native American descent, we're saying that we're a different group of people. And so for people to push back on that and say we're xenophobic because we're not running around saying we're African, well, we're not African.
No, I'm not saying
we're partially African.
No, you can claim whatever you want. That's just what you guys have told me. Like, bro, no, I ain't no. I mean, I don't care. You can say whatever you want. Like, you're Indian. I'm Black Indian, and I'm from Africa. You know the Black Indians and all that stuff. The Hebrew Israelites and all that.
Sure, I do. But I mean,
you can believe what you want. I
really didn't need your validation. I mean, I am in the country that my people built. So, I mean, hey, we can, if we want to call ourselves fucking marshmallows, we can.
Yeah, totally.
That's all right.
You don't need my validation. I'm just saying that's my experience.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And that's not even just limited to the conversation. It's what I hear in a lot of these conversations is that overall, and I hate that phrase diaspora wars because, no, I frankly don't think that there is a war. To be a war, there will have to be two aggressors who are willing to duel it out. And I don't believe that Black Americans are the aggressor. Hold on before you respond. Why do I say that? Because historically, there's evidence of our people group, Black American freedmen, ADOS, Foundational Black Americans, whatever the hell people want to slap on their name. We are all the same lineage. It was us that got you here. And that is the crux of these conversations, is how can these very people that you are claiming to hate you, when they're the ones that brought you here, who fought against haters, literally haters, to bring you here, when everyone said we don't want them here. We got our asses beat. We laid down and died to advocate to get you here. We don't need one. No, hold on, Sub-Saharan. I'm gonna pass the mic. Be respectful. In America, we pass the mic.
Yeah, no,
we might get long as Black Americans. We might be long-winded, but shit, we're gonna pass the mic when we do, and we're gonna hear you out whether we agree with you or not. See, that's a difference in culture, and this is no punch to anyone, but I see this a lot. The over-talking, and not over-talking to clarify, but over-talking is disrespect. We don't do that. We don't do that. You might find a few people, but collectively, we do not do that. If we don't agree with what you're saying, we're going to tell you. We might pull your ass to the side and tell you, but we're going to tell you. We don't have to interrupt you. So have that respect, because I give that to you and anyone else. So I was saying, the crux of these conversations is weird, because I'll say the younger generation of you, of your people, the older ones kind of got it. Your parents' generation, they understood it for the most part. But these youngins, those of you coming up, we're looking at y'all like, where the hell did all this come from? Because we cracked a joke? Because that's our culture? And so it's almost like you don't understand the disconnect, that as much as you can say we cracked a joke and it hurts your feelings, that paints the implication that when you came here, you didn't take the time to learn the very people who brought you over here. And so you believe anything that any other person that you believe is some magical being says about this very people group that brought you over here. So why would you want to learn about this little tiny group of Black people in America? When you have these majestic white people, because that's how a lot of y'all think of them. When you have these majestic white people who you think hold all this power, when they say that the Black American is dangerous and criminal and baby mamas and baby daddies and welfare queens, when they say that, you believe it. And that's before you even get over here to understand the people who brought you over here. That's before all of that. That's before Hope had the incident with somebody who supposedly hit her in the face. Because before that, she was a child. And what did Hope Okoro hear as a child? Her mother saying that Black Americans ain't shit. And so Hope Okoro grew up thinking that, not taking time to learn that, wow, these are people who are genocide survivors, Holocaust survivors, if we want to say that, who have a little bit of edge to them because all they've known is how to fucking survive a society who hates their guts. Hope Okoro took what her parents instilled in her about a people they didn't even know and ran with it. And so when she had those supposed incidents, I'm going to put a quote around them because I don't know if they're true. When she had those incidents, right, those were simply self-fulfilling prophecies to say, well, I thought of them as these aggressors anyway. So the fact that they did that, they acted in the way that I expected them to act, just means that they're all bad. And so when we're speaking as Black Americans, we're not here to argue. We're not here to gain popularity. We don't give a fuck about that. We are the blueprint for the globe, and we know that.
No, you're not.
Even when we didn't want to be. The fact that you're on a voice app, Sub-Saharan, says that you're misinformed of our history.
I'm not.
It was a black American woman that made this technology.
I learned about Black history. This
no, okay.
Twitter is not because of you. This is made by a white person.
The fact that you're on a voice app says
this is because of a white person. This is because of a white person.
No, it is not.
Yes,
and the fact
that
you keep saying that,
made by white people, Bill Gates.
Who you think
fight for us to come here. That's all cap. You didn't fight for us to come. You fought for yourself.
Are these majestical people?
The government allowed it.
Okay, guys. So one person is allowed to speak. You guys are having a healthy conversation. You're getting your answers, and I'm learning as well. So I want to keep that going without vicious arguments like how we're kind of getting into. So just please respect that. And yes, Kennedy, I see you requested, so let me accept you. But of course, I'm going to let Deja and Sub-Saharan finish off. And then, of course, you can speak, Kennedy. So let me go ahead and unmute everyone, and please continue.
Sure. And I'm about to pass the mic. Got what I was saying. That was my Black American aggression coming out. I apologize. Anywho, I was saying that these conversations I don't believe these are diaspora wars, as people call them. Because in order for it to be a war, there would have to be two aggressors in the situation. And our history is the evidence enough that if we were these xenophobic people, if we were these hateful people, then you wouldn't be here. So the fact that you're here speaks to the very bleeding heart, love, care, and concern for our cousins across the pond. The fact that we laid down and died and got water hoses sicked on us and, all that bad shit that we keep talking about because it is our history. We are people who are proud of our history, no matter how traumatic it is. And we're going to keep talking about it because it's the country that we built. You don't inherit a country without inheriting its trauma. And the fact that people come over here and don't want to inherit the trauma of the very country who caused the trauma is fucking weird. And that's why we're responding. So if you call it aggression, if you call it xenophobia, I don't know what to tell you. Sure, that's what you think. I'm not going to take that from you. But it behooves you as smart, educated people who come to become educated and get degrees from Harvard and Yale and all these great things, of which were built off slave labor. You don't inherit America without inheriting the bones of my Black American ancestors. So the fact that you get Yale and Harvard degrees, who built the institutions that you can't even sit in and learn that knowledge? But anyway, about to pass the mic.
Yeah, I want to talk. I like it.
It just, I really do hope, and I'm just one person. I don't think I necessarily have influence, but I speak for my people and my ancestors. I want to say it behooves all people groups who have benefited off of the freedom struggles of my lineage to really dig into the history, not what McGraw-Hill tells you in a textbook, but what elders are saying who lived through it, what people are speaking.
So you're saying black
on
women
video.
made technology?
What, Kennedy?
Black women made technology. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that this voice act is the very product of a Black American freedman woman.
You're delusional.
Okay, great. If you want to.
Yeah, but black people didn't pave the way for us. It's not because we're not here.
Okay. Okay, so sorry. So hold on.
We would have came here anyway. It wasn't because of you. It's not. You didn't fight for us. You had those old black people that didn't know that we were coming. Those elder black people that they didn't know about fucking Africans like wanting to come here. And when we came here, like, where you from? Like, oh, you got an accent. Oh, they say you're from Africa. Usually, a lot of times, like, go back to Africa. Or it's like from my experience with African. When I talk to other Africans, they tell me, oh yeah, Black Americans, they're fucking racist. Oh yeah, they talk shit to me in school or at college or what. Okay, so forget about elementary school. I just met a Nigerian. And he came here when he was 21.
Did you realize
I met a Nigerian. He was 21. He came here when
you realized she cut me off.
What?
You realized she cut me off.
No, you were done.
I was.
Yeah, but look, I met a Nigerian. He was 21. He came here. He said fucking black people. You talk shit to him for being African and say all stuff about xenophobia. But you didn't pave the way for us to come here. You didn't even know we were coming. The government allowed us. It was just that you fought for yourselves. You fought for your civil rights. That's all it was. And like so that you could integrate black or white people and be like have all these benefits and all that stuff. Yeah, immigrants can come here. This is a nation of immigrants. Immigrants will always come here. Irish immigrants, Chinese immigrants, Pakistani, whatever.
So really what you're saying is that you think white people just love you that much that they just said...
The government's not... It's white people, but it's black people too in the government. So it's everybody.
So if you say that, you would have to admit that it was black people in the government that got you here too, then.
It wasn't black people. It was anybody. Anybody who has any political power. Anybody who has political power.
Either way, your argument doesn't stand, Sub-Saharan. And that's what I'm trying to get you to see. That's what I'm trying to get you to see.
You didn't pave the way for us to come here, dude.
Right. Tell that to the
and then you didn't build the whole
freedom
of America.
fighters who are continuing to live
you didn't build the whole of America. Like you didn't build Portland, Oregon.
Right.
You didn't build Los Angeles. You guys migrated from the south to Los Angeles. That's why there's Bloods and Crips in South Central and all that.
Right.
You didn't build Los Angeles. You didn't build
Right.
You did come on. Maybe you did build those Princeton or Harvard and all stuff. Those places out of East Coast, but you didn't build every fucking college.
Like, okay.
I went to Indiana University. You didn't build Indiana University.
Okay.
Come on.
Tell me more.
You're cutting me off when I'm just saying yeah. Let me tell you.
Because you cut me off, so I'm returning the energy.
All right, fine. Talk.
This is what you don't understand. Is that this is these so-called diaspora boys that y'all call are simply us returning energy. And there's another cultural disconnect that you don't understand, returning energy. So when you cut me off...
A lot of black people cut me off when I'm talking.
When you cut me off, then I cut you off because I'm returning energy.
That's fine.
So that's what I just did.
At least we heard what I said.
So again, I was saying, and I'm about to go because mentally I'm taxed. That's the Black American experience in this country is that you can never divorce yourself from race. That's just who we have become in this country, right? And that's why these conversations go so long is because y'all don't understand that. You think everything is sweet and cool, and you don't. See, you cut me off again, Sub-Saharan. Chill out. It's not that deep.
It is that deep to you. That's why you're on the app talking about FBA this and with Tariq.
I have never said FBA. Well, actually, I did, but we're all the same people. Simply a lineage. If you want to consider it a group, that's you. But that's my lineage. I'm not a group. It's either you're born as one or you're not. You don't fill out a fucking application and say I'm an FBA. No. It's either you are or you're not. You're descended from a people who got y'all here.
You did.
So what I was saying, and I'm about to land.
So, sorry, Deja. I know you're getting ready to finish your point, and I really respect that. But like I told you earlier, that's the only argument you're bringing here is. And we're kind of taking that a little disrespectful when you say you guys are the only reason we're here. There's different reasons and ways that someone can come to America. And like I said, I definitely acknowledge MLK and everyone that died and their lives and everything to make it possible. So just I wish we can just deviate from that topic, but I definitely want to hear your last words so we can move on.
Sure. Trying to sum it up the best way I can because I could talk.
He didn't pave the way for Indians to come here. They came here anyway. They're not black people. They have dark skin and all that.
When do we ever say we paved the way for Indians?
You said you welcomed arms to every minority group, which is not true of you.
Well, we did after we established ourselves. But okay. There you go. Cut me off again. Didn't Hope just say I can speak and then I'll pass the mic?
All right, sorry, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, it's. I don't even know how to sum all this up because again I could talk, but I'll say I'm not here for an apology. I'm here to speak on behalf of like-minded Black Americans. Most of us are of that mindset that even though we may not know everything about us, we know what we have done for this country, for it to become the safe haven that everyone gets to come to. And we don't even brag about that. But the fact that the conversation was brought up, we simply attended. We brought out chairs to the conversation, sat down and said, hey, this is what it is. This is what's documented. This is what people, our elders who are still living, went through. And they tell those stories. That's one part of Black American culture is that we pass down stories by mouth. We don't always write them down.
Africans do that too.
Great. Take pride in that. But let me finish. So
you just gotta talk faster. Like you're talking about.
Well, no, that a pause that you're deeply thinking. A pause means that you're able to reflect before you just say bullshit out your mouth. Yeah, Black Americans call it talking out the side of your neck, and we don't usually do that. We like to be introspective before we just speak. So when you hear me pause, it's me thinking. So like I was saying before I passed the mic ever so gracefully, it behooves everyone. And I say this respectfully because, again, like I came in on this show telling Hope that I don't harbor hate in my heart for anyone. I don't. But I'm somebody who tells the truth and I speak up for the underdog. And Black Americans have been the underdog forever. So what I wanted to say really quick is that it really behooves everyone, and specifically your people group, to Hope and to Sub-Saharan and to Kennedy, because I believe all three of you are Nigerian. It behooves you to really understand that when you speak to Black Americans, you're speaking to not just them individually, but a lineage who got you over here. I don't know how else to say it. So the fact that and even when
you didn't.
There you go, cut me off again. Even when you say you didn't, that just digs you into a deeper hole with people who have the documented history and story, the oral traditions of.
Can you show me?
Of this? Yeah, I can. And
send me everything.
Sure. Connect with me in the DMs. I'll send you a whole bunch because I really hope that you do learn.
Where it says that you're fighting for Africans.
Sure, absolutely.
Maybe I'll be wrong. I'll shut down. I'll apologize to you.
And that's one thing from these conversations that's always missing is that there's always one-sided scholarship. There's scholarship on Black Americans in because we can point right to it and say, yeah, that's what we fought for. But then you have your people group who's saying, well, you called me a name, so your whole people group ain't shit. And we're looking at you like, well, we ain't shit? But we brought you over here?
Yeah,
Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up.
White people called you nigger.
That's simply what I'm saying.
Yeah, but white people called us nigger, and they brought you over here, and they let us come here, but they still call us nigger.
Who is called? First of all,
white people. They forcibly brought you here, and they still call you nigger. They let Africans come here, and they call us nigger.
Oh, do you want some scholarship on your complicity in the transatlantic slave trade? Because it seems like every time I bring that up, y'all run from the conversation.
No, man, Africans told Africans. It's true.
Yeah, so
That was just at the time when it war.
But it was a human soul is a human soul, right?
Yeah,
that's another difference is that we value humanity enough to know that selling another human being is evil. And so, see, and that'll lead me right into my endpoint, and I'll shut up because I'm so sick of these conversations. I'm even surprised that I came in here. So let's do a little timeline real quick. So the slave coast of West Africa sold us, many tribes were complicit in selling us to Europeans because y'all had tribal differences prior to Europeans coming there anyway. So those just continued on. And so when the Europeans showed up, you said, hey, you got that umbrella? I got 40 human bodies for you. I'll take the umbrella, you take the 40 human bodies, pack them onto ships, ship them across the Atlantic, do whatever you want to. So that's why we're here in America as Black American Freedmen, ADOS, FBA, whatever the hell you want to slap on your name. That's why we're here. So then when 500 some years later, the very people, the descendants of the very people who sold those people come and bury themselves up under American comforts that Black American freedmen created. Because if you didn't know...
You didn't create everything.
Because if you didn't know...
You didn't create everything in America.
You don't inherit this land.
You didn't create everything. You didn't create this
labor for until white people sell out for money.
Maybe you did work in the South.
Why do you have a problem with
America? Pidgin cotton is not building America.
Wait, why do you have a problem with Africa?
Native Americans had a hand in building America. Everybody had a hand in building America. Chinese people, whatever, Irish people, Italians.
No. So, okay, great.
Yes,
I'm glad that you say that because I'm glad that the scholarship will be able to discredit your argument. So you can't discredit scholarship.
Native Americans built New York. They built the towers in New York.
They absolutely did not.
They told me they did.
But why don't you have a problem with
Everybody comes from
How do you have problems with Africa?
All the emotional
You're bragging about this.
people talking over people at once I can't deal with.
This
So
is a racist white country. It was built
it
on
absolutely
land.
is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, you're bragging about building a country made by racist white people.
Made by them. See, it's that
They made the laws. They did everything. They did, and you did too. They use you as labor, but other people built this country too.
So what do you think you get after years of labor?
Oh.
What do you think you get after years of unpaid labor? You think you just came over here?
Yeah, you should get reparations, but I mean,
what? I didn't even bring up reparations. That's a whole other conversation.
I think you should get reparations for slavery. I think so. But
okay,
still,
okay.
You came to pay for us to come here. You didn't.
I'm trying to remember if I finished landing my plane.
And I think
I'm trying to remember if I finished landing my plane. So
yeah, but
okay,
you land this plane though.
Yeah, I was about to land my plane, and I'm out of y'all's way because this shit is like mentally taxing. Like sitting in Twitter space all day, recounting history to people who aren't informed outside of their.
I'm informed. I grew up. I was born here. I know all about the history. I watched
emotional.
Read a lot.
So, if you did, you wouldn't say what you're saying, Sam. But
I would. Yes, I would.
You absolutely wouldn't. And so, let me land real quick because I'm like, this is a lot for one person. Don't even know what I was about to say, but do some digging into your history. And I say that to myself too, because I'm still learning. And the more that I learn, the more that it all makes sense of just how much Black American freedmen, ADOS, Foundational Black Americans, were all the same people have done innovation-wise, our ingenuity, our grit, our perseverance, even our aggression. Even our aggression created everything that everyone gets to come over here and
you didn't do that.
build the luxurious. So I'll land on that.
That's lies, man.
I'll land on that. And as young men,
you're not the heroes of America. You're not the superheroes and you're the greatest.
There's young Nigerian men who are proud of their culture. It's weird that you're trying to silence one voice. So
no one silenced you. I'm just correcting you.
Well, I don't need to be corrected because I'm in a country that my people built. And
everybody built this country. White people.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, they did. You're here because of them. This is their government.
Aliens
are white. All white. Why can't be black people then?
Two screaming Nigerian men.
You're bragging about building. You're forging. Yeah, boy, you build because the white man made you. The white man made you build this country. Whatever you claim it. You build it because the white man forced you.
Right. Gotcha.
It wasn't your idea. You were forced to do it.
Gotcha. You know what? And I swear I'm going to end on this. I'm about to be out.
You built America. Whatever your claim is, you built it because the white man forced you.
Tired.
China's not building America.
Hold on.
Build Indiana. I'm from Indiana. You didn't build Indiana. Come on. That's a racist white fucking state.
I love.
So Deja, do you kind of get the point that they're trying to make to you? Do you understand how they're saying it's not just one race that made it possible? Like, you have a really large claim you're making out there. I want to get your point of view, and I know you're getting ready to go. Do you understand where they're coming from?
Sure.
I'm sure you guys had a lot of inventions and all that stuff. You had a lot of accomplishments, but you didn't pave the way. You're not the superheroes of America.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, Sub-Saharan, because I love when people say things like that without really, while they have a limited scope.
I read all the stuff.
What? Can you stop cutting me off, though? I love when people say things like that with their current limited scope of history, and then later down the line, because when they've I love when people say things like that without really had their back, and they realize that all that shit that they were talking that they said didn't make sense is actually factual and actually plays out in real time and not just in a
Can you stop cutting
me off, though?
No, look, I've been the Africans tell me like all their experience they're coming to America, and when they encounter Black Americans, the first time I dealt with racism was from a Black person. I dealt with from white people, but I dealt with more from Black people. That's what all these Africans say on the space and Clubhouse.
Can you chill out?
I'm just telling you.
So when things actually start playing out later down the line, because they always do, that's how America works. That's how racism works, and that's how karma works. Karma, right? And I say that as a spiritual Black American person.
No karma for me. I pay karma for being African by Black people. There's no karma for me. DJ, hold on back. It's because when I'm being Black American.
What?
So, why are y'all cutting me off? Goddamn karma.
Then I just say I was about to leave out, and y'all just y'all got all the space to talk after I'm gone.
You've been talking about 2 hours, so you gotta land this plane.
If you would let me, I keep getting.
Yeah, you've been talking for hours and hours.
I know, right? Because that's what a robust conversation is. That's what happens when you have scholarship and lived experiences and a rich culture to stand on. You can talk and talk and talk.
Everybody has a rich
culture. And no one can ever refute what you're saying because they know that even though they deny it, the shit is true. So anyway, and now I say this finally that I'm going to land my plane because I'm tired mentally. All I'm saying is that it behooves people to understand that they wouldn't be here no matter how much they think Black American freedmen have contributed or not.
Yes, we
know who we are. We know what we've done. And so when you keep saying that and you keep saying it and you keep saying it, and the more of us that hear the Black American freedmen that we say, are they really discrediting? Are they really discrediting
we go everywhere.
Everything that we've done?
America, Australia, England. It's not because of.
So when you keep hearing that as a lineage, when you keep hearing that as a lineage, and you keep hearing that, and
we're African booty scratchers.
And it, it makes you think like, well, if they don't think we got them here.
You did.
And who else? Who else do they think?
Wait, so the government allowed us to come here. They allowed immigrants
to come here. And so
the nation of immigrants.
And so when
Black American immigrants.
So all I see from this is jealousy. You guys are just jealous Africans, and you're not.
What are we jealous of, Kennedy? I would love to know. Miss Connie Collins, I love her. She said we could have a cultural versus, and I would love to. I can sit on this bitch all day. Because if you didn't know, Black American freedmen have over 50,000 patents under slavery.
Who cares?
And after. And the fact that you say who cares just means
Africans are doing better than you do. Africans are doing better than you in America.
You're doing better? great.
Yes,
I'm glad
everybody knows this.
I'm glad you're doing well.
And this is where the problem
I'm
comes.
glad
This is
you're
where the
doing well.
animosity comes. And this is why you don't
Animosity? Animosity?
You guys
Animosity? Why would the descendants of those who were sold?
They're not jealous of us. They think we're inferior black people. There's nothing. They're not
No,
jealous.
we don't. We
They
don't.
think we're inferior. They
We
don't.
don't.
Africans. They come from
We
shithole
absolutely
countries.
don't.
They stink. They live in huts. All this and that. That's the mindset.
God.
No. What I'm saying is,
They're racist. Black Americans are racist.
I would love to know how I'm jealous. I would love to know how I'm jealous when it was my lineage that created it.
I don't think you're jealous. I don't think you're jealous. I don't think you're jealous. He thinks you're jealous. I don't think you're jealous. You think we're
No
inferior.
one should be jealous of anyone. For what?
Yeah, but I think you think we're inferior black people.
I absolutely don't.
You think, oh, these Africans, they come from
Well,
shit
first of all,
they speak a weird language. They live in huts. They make
why
those
would we
fears.
think you? Well, at least me. I don't know what other people think. Why would I think you're inferior to me when I carry a little bit of your DNA?
Most black people have that mindset.
Okay. I'm not even gonna get on the point, but y'all got it.
Have a nice day.
Carry on. I hope I really do. No, I'm about to leave. I really do.
Have a nice day.
I really do hope y'all
It's just like
learn the history of the very people that you say are these xenophobic, aggressive, no goods. Because if we were, I don't know, you wouldn't even be in this country.
Yes, we would. We would still be here.
They
That's
didn't
what
fund
we
the
do.
purpose
Indian
that
people come
Black
here,
Americans
Chinese people,
created.
Pakistani, Arabs, they come here.
So all I'm saying is
All
that
these
once
people
the
from different places
all I'm
come
saying
here.
is that once the master
Why don't
breaks
you
his
tell me
tools, all I'm saying is that once the master breaks his tools and you see what all this shit is really about, and you've burned your bridges with the only friend, and you burn the bridge with the only friend you've ever had.
Mexicans come here, Puerto Ricans, all these people
That's a
come
harsh
here.
reality that you have to
Exactly.
live
Why don't
in.
you tell the
Not our
Mexicans?
heroes.
So
Not
have
our
a
Why don't
great
you tell the
day.
Mexicans this?
It's
Have a nice
6:37 where I am.
Have a nice day.
It
Caribbeans come here. It's not because of Black Americans.
right, Sub-Saharan, right.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what
exactly.
you
So what's the
think.
problem?
That's what you think.
That's what I know.
That's what you know, right? Okay. And so what happens when?
And you didn't build 100% of the
What
country.
happens
Everybody
when
can do
all of
stuff.
that vitriol that you spew comes back to bite you and those very
It
same
won't come back to
people,
bite me.
the only people that have held your hand and got you over here, want nothing else to do with you because we didn't even have to
You didn't get us over here.
given that
You
you
saying that.
sold us anyway.
You didn't get us over here.
Given that you sold us anyway, and we still extended our hand back. So what does that say about these so-called
Every African sold other Africans. Not every
Exactly.
All right.
So I have nothing else to contribute to the conversation.
This is the problem.
I have nothing else to contribute to the conversation. I'll see my way out. This was really for my Black American freedmen, ADOS, Foundation of Black Americans who are maybe listening or will listen later. I speak for them and my ancestors only. And the more that we're learning about how much y'all discredit our very robust and rich history that got everyone here.
It didn't
The more
get
that we
everyone
wake
here.
up, the more that we wake up, the more friends you lose. And so that's going to be a harsh reality. So yeah.
It was just the government that allowed us in 1965 or whatever. It wasn't because of y'all. You yourselves. I read into it. You fought for yourselves. Not goofy. Do you agree with everything that she says, Libra?
So I mean, like I said, I agreed with the only part about, Black Americans fighting for other Blacks and people of color to be here, because of course we do know about white supremacy. I think we're all adults here, and we can't deny that never existed. So with that being said, I've appreciated that in a previous video, but to say and make such a large claim that they are the only reasons we're here, I think that's pretty large to say, and it's pretty alarming. And I think a lot of things that you guys were saying were also true as well. Everyone has to fight to get here, right? So no one's going to hold your hand. No one's going to. So that's not what I got, at least when I came here. So I did have to go through that struggle, and like everyone has to do that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, so at least you relate. You got made fun of, right? If they're such change, why do they fucking talk shit about Africans when they come in? They talk shit about Caribbeans, make all these slick comments and all this stuff. So I mean, it's just banter. It's not like they're not like oppressing us, but they're talking shit. Like they look down on us.
Right. They definitely do look down on us, and they have this angry mindset, very aggressive, and they don't want to take the accountability. They never they will never take that accountability. It's always the other person is wrong, they are right, and until then, they're not going to. There's no change. There's not going to be any differences. No one's going to want to contribute to Black businesses, Black companies like they want. It's not going to exist if they can't change on their own.
This is the same thing with South Africans as well. They always blame other people for their problems. They don't want to take responsibility or accountability as well. It's always the Zimbabweans or the Nigerians that's the cause of the problems. And I see the same pattern as well with the Black Americans.
Well, look, I you don't know me, but like I see you in other rooms, Mr. Booty and all these people. I go to the room and talk shit to as many Black people as possible. I just do it because, like, out of friends, I don't know, like, it's funny to me. It's just because, like, I got made fun of a lot by Black people, like, just every encounter. So I come in there, I call them cotton pickers and rape babies and slaves and farm equipment. Because I'm like, hey, all these people talk about us, so I want to talk about them. And they're like, some of them are like, well, oh, why are you saying this stuff about us? I'm like, hey, you used to make fun of me in school and at work and all. They're like, not me, but yeah, that's how we are. We make fun of each other. So I was like, hey, I want to do it back. So I want to show you guys how it feels. And they say I'm a racist. I'm like, what do you guys do this? And they're like, oh, yeah, just get over it. Oh, that's what. How can you forget stuff like that? Hey, I'm not gonna forget stuff. It became a pattern. Like even like it's a pattern. Like from when I was 14. You know what I'm
saying? Right. So that kind of sticks with you and your mentality about Black Americans. But I do want to ask you: was the Akata word something you ever were told about, by your parents? Was that a culture?
Your parents, you said that your parents probably told you to stay away from Black Americans. My parents never said that. My dad was a doctor. My mom was an accountant. Her supervisor was a fucking Black American. They have Black friends who were professionals. They try to. Obviously, they're classy Nigerians, educated. They try to hang out with other educated people, so they associate themselves with anybody who's like who carries themselves well, who's educated. It's not about like, so they have a lot of Black American friends. They never said, oh, stay, like my dad worked in the ghetto. He worked in Gary, Indiana. That's the hood, like I mean, obviously he was telling me not to hang out with fucking gangbangers and all that stuff, or like Black Americans, or like he wouldn't say. He just says like don't hang like my parents like don't hang out with like bad people, like trouble people or trouble. I was a troublemaker growing up, but like they tell me not to. It doesn't matter if they're fucking Black American or white, or Mexican, or fucking even Nigeria. They tell me to stay away from the bad Nigerians. So it's not if they have Black friends who are professionals. My dad's a doctor. He has a lot of Black American friends who are doctors. Like they'll have a party full of doctors, and you see a lot of Black Americans and Nigerians all together. It's not about. My parents never said that. I developed this mentality myself. But then again, I still have Black friends, so.
Right. So I think. Go ahead, Kenny. No, go ahead.
I'm not against all Black Americans. I mean, I'm just being an asshole because, like, I don't know. These people say stuff about us, so I want to say stuff about as many of them as I can. I don't know. That's just me personally. I'm just trying to get revenge. So, like, I go at them as a whole, or I'll just I talk to. I have so many random Black Americans say shit to me for being African at work or at school or whatever. That I want to just do it to as many random Black Americans as I can too. I just get revenge. That's my mindset. I don't know. That's me personally. I support grudges. It sticks to me. Like the people that make fun of me at school, like if I see them today, like I'll start talking shit to them or probably even pick a fight with them. Like, hey, you were talking about me because I'm African or something. I was kind of shy back in high school. I was shy, and then like these people would say stuff. I didn't know what to say. Then I came back. I watched Roots, and I was like, I came back with ammo. But right. It's just me personally. I don't know. Maybe it seems like I have PTSD. I'm just not. It's not like that. It's just I'm just getting revenge. I don't know.
Yeah. You want to seek a retribution based on your previous experiences. So it's something that it's definitely identifiable with most Africans, and not just Nigerians, of course. Coming here as an African immigrant, it can be kind of hard to adjust to that American culture and dress like Americans and all of that and have all the latest brands. But African Americans just have to get an understanding of themselves, self-awareness, understand what's bringing them down, and they're not accepting of it. They don't want to do that at all.
Some
And-
Nigerian kids, or I met so many Africans from like different parts of like Africa, and like when they come here, they tell me their experience with Black Americans. So not every single one of them gets made fun of for being African, but a lot of them told me like stories. Like a Ghanaian girl from LA, a Sudanese girl from Minnesota, some Ugandan kid from Texas. You know, they all told me like the same. That's all over TikTok. Or I got made fun of for being African, by Black Americans all over TikTok. They have like a show you pick on. Different videos, like all over fucking social media, like every social media platform. I got made fun of being African. I'm like, so hey, I want to do it too. Like, I'm easy and informative, so.
Exactly. Yeah, and the purpose of this live was basically just to kind of get to know an African person, trying to know where that, word akata comes from, and yeah. So I think you guys asked a lot of questions, and yeah, that's always important.
This one Nigerian kid, he told me he came here when he was 21, and like he went to college. He said he dealt all the fucking black people would talk shit to, like a lot of black people would make fun of him for being African. He still had black friends, but like when he encountered Black Americans, they'll be making fun of him for being African, trying to clown and bully him or whatever. And then like I was in clubhouse with him. He told me like I would be in rooms with him, and like he'll start talking like it's all the diaspora, like Black Americans, Africans, Caribbeans, all of y'all like in rooms together. But when the African starts talking, when he starts talking, he has an accent. Like, shut the fuck up, you're African, you're disgusting. Go back to Africa, you stupid African.
Right.
So I have that mindset. So I call black people cotton pickers and all stuff. I troll Black American. I do it as retribution, basically. Like,
right.
Typically, I have a cousin in Texas. Typically, he tells me like just basically don't like to Black American. I don't know why. That's what he said.
That your cousin does not like Black Americans?
So he says typically Nigerians prefer to hang out with Nigerians and not Black Americans.
Right.
I hang out with mostly Black Americans. I know the irony of me saying this. My best friend is Black American, and two of my best friends are Black American. But like, they have the little perception of Africans. They'll make jokes and crack jokes and say, "Oh, you Africans live in shit or eat shit sandwiches and all stuff." And I was like, so like, I didn't know what to say back then. But like, after I had an epiphany, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, these people have the big cotton." So I just came back and started roasting him about it. He's like, "Hey, dog, man, you keep fucking disrespecting me, man. Whoa, why you keep saying that?" I was like, "Oh, you used to make fun of me for being African." He's like, "I apologize. You still keep saying it, bro." Like. That makes you feel good, basically.
Right, exactly. Kennedy, did you want to add in anything to this before we head out, or?
No. It was basically good being here, though. Good conversation.
Yeah, I just got a job last year, and I was just working at college. I was just being casual, having a casual conversation. Some fucking black lady out the blue just started talking shit about African. She's like, "Do you speak African?" And start making clicking noises and like started like talking all rambling. I was like, "I don't like what she said." And then she's like, "So what?" I said what I said. Like, because she was some ghetto hood rat bitch. So like, I don't know. We were just going back and forth, but she started it. I didn't say anything to this woman. You know what I'm saying? I was just being casual, just having a casual conversation. And that happens all the time, right? When Africans like are around black people, we integrate. They just start talking shit. Like I don't know if you watch, you're on Clubhouse, you see Whack 100. I don't know if you pay attention to that. Like I saw a video of him. I saw a video of him on Clubhouse, and like some African was talking, and all these black people just like, "Oh, you guys have to shut the fuck up. You're African. Go back to Africa. You get flies all over your face." So like, that's why I have this mindset. That's why I be talking shit too. You gotta see me in some of these spaces. I'm real disrespectful.
Right.
I instigate it. I'm pretty disrespectful. I don't give a fuck.
Right. So, yeah, I think, and you kind of lose respect for people that don't give it, right? People that don't show respect back. And I know for me, respect and manners is something that has always been a major part, an integral part of growing up as an African child. You have to have that. It's something like that would not be tolerated in Africa. They would jump you, they would beat you up, they would, report you. So it's important. And I love that, us Nigerians, we have that mindset. Kennedy, I'm not exactly sure what part of Africa do you come from, or?
I'm Nigerian, actually.
Oh, Nigerian as well. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I love the way we were brought up, the culture we possess. And I feel that, if...
But what's your experience in America, though?
So in America, I feel like my experience was it was terrible. It wasn't as welcoming, and it wasn't more so in school, but when I got out, like just starting out my adulthood, at my first job, got into it with a Black American, and we got physical, and she punched me, and they're just really, really aggressive. They're very aggressive individuals, and it hasn't been good ever since. And I don't identify them as my friends or someone that I can keep as close contact to me. It's just more so hi and bye, if you were to ask me. But yeah, I think akata is a word that definitely kind of describes them, to say the least.
Yeah. And for sub-Saharan, I guess Americans, Nigerians that were born in America, they tend to maybe have some good rapport and conversations with Black Americans, but immigrants Nigerians, we find it very hard. We find it very hard because the tradition and the thing is different.
I hang out with a lot of Black Americans. I bonded my friend out of jail. I had Black girlfriends and all, but like it's just like this mindset that they with it. Some would be cool, then the others will like perceive you a certain way. They like, oh, you're inferior because you're African. Like I don't know. They're all over the place.
Yeah, but if you like immigrated from Nigeria, probably like when you're 20 or something.
Yeah,
there's no way you can. It'll be hard, exactly. So your best bet is just to hang out with Nigerians, because Nigerians typically they bring us up with our families, and they're well disciplined. So it's gonna be hard integrating with Black Americans because they're so wayward, and man, it's crazy.
They're not all that bad. I don't know. Like some of them try to see this as the same and like try to be cool with me. And so a lot of Black Americans try, like lately, it hasn't happened a lot, but like a lot of Black Americans try to be cool and like be my friends. So it's like I let it be. But like I'm just trying to give a retribution for back in the day when like a lot of Black people would talk shit. Like it's the same with white people. I can talk shit about white people, still have white friends. But like we all know the history of how racist white people are. You know what I'm saying? But like I still have Black friends who try to unite with me and all stuff like on social media. I moved to the West Coast. I meet Black people all the time. They try to be cool. They try to treat me like family. But like I don't know what it is. I hate it. A lot of Black Americans have talked shit to me for being African, so I kind of want to do the same back.
Right. And I do understand that, Sub-Saharan. I'm also not going to lie as well. I've had a lot of, Black American friends as well, when I was younger. But of course, they've kind of led me down the wrong path. I've kind of got into more trouble with them, just not fun, and my mom could definitely tell that negative influence coming along. And, that's why a lot of African parents don't want that, integration between Black Americans and Africans. They feel like you kind of lose your African culture as soon as you start to join into that American, society, Black American culture. But, of course, listening to music, listening to rap has always been something that, I've loved to do. I still love, and treat everyone the same. But we do have to address how Black Americans, the entitledness they have. I think that's the only thing that kind of cuts it for me, to where I can't be as social and friendly with them, because you don't know what words you're going to say that's going to disrespect them or make them fire you, for instance, Sub-Saharan, when you mentioned that point. So, yeah, I feel like that's the only thing. But some are genuine. I can't say all are, terrible people.
My friend's ghetto game. Okay, I'll tell you a funny story, right? So, my dad's a doctor, right? And there's there's a lot like in Gary. There's a lot of night African doctors. There's another doctor. One of his friends is Dr. Nchekwu. That's one of his colleagues or whatever, who's like down the street from him. But like this kid I used to hang out with, he's from the hood. He's a gangbanger, all this stuff. I know. I should like. It's just like shocking that I'm saying this, but like he's some gangbanger I used to chill with like when I was younger, and like his mom used to work for Dr. Nchekwu. And she used to be a receptionist. She used to be a receptionist for her, but I hung out with him from time to time. Like I hung out with him when he was in the projects and all that. But he's some gangbanger. But I visited him just recently. Like he went to San Francisco. I visited him and we were just talking. I was chilling at his house, and his girlfriend tried to be all Pan African and stuff. And she's like some ghetto Black girl from Southside Chicago. She's like, yeah, I'm proud of my African heritage, this and that. But I was chilling out the blue. He was just like, man, you Africans, man, y'all sneaky, living, hustling, this and that. But that's just a perception. He was still my friend, but that's his perception. So I was like, oh, fuck you, you're a cotton picking slave boy, fuck you, this and that. But that's their perception, you know what I'm saying? He was still my friend, he let me sleep over and all that, but still, that's the mindset they have on us.
So the mindset still persists. You still, I mean, I know you said that happened when you were in school, but now as an adult, you're still getting that, remark and the African scratcher. Really? That's still okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We do have another, listener here. I think his name is Killmonger. I'm going to invite you to speak. If you do want to speak or provide your insights, I just sent you a request to be a speaker. If you do want to, say anything or chime in, that request was sent to you. I also see that you're Nigerian as well, so that's beautiful. Perfect.
And also, listen, I feel like Black Americans are basically beating a dead horse because the only problem is basically fixing their family structure and everything falls in place. Now they're diverting their attention to Africans. Africans are the least of their problems at this point, but
Right, right. I do believe that as well. Um, I don't know. Black Americans are just set in their ways. I don't know what it takes to make them change or if they're even open to it. But one thing I do appreciate is how much they fight. They're fighters. They love fighting for what's right. The George Floyd situation, when we even had our situation in Nigeria with the NSARS, they were there. They wanted to come on and wanted to hear us out and see what's going on. And you have to appreciate that side as well, which I think it's really good. So all right, Killmonger, I don't know if you were able to
Killmonger doesn't actually speak in spaces.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever heard him speak.
oh, sorry. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so you guys can provide your insights. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure everyone got to say something. Yeah, if you guys kind of don't have anything else, this video was just done to kind of get everyone together, and get everyone to know what Hope's Journeys is about. Just set up a professional live Q&A for everyone to integrate and learn more about each other. But yeah, it seems like you guys kind of like already, got it together. So we will be ending at 7, but I do want to open the floor to any further questions you guys may have.
You new on Twitter, yeah?
YouTube?
I mean, are you new on Twitter? This?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think.
Yeah, I'm new on Twitter. I know we didn't have too much of an audience. It was kind of done on, I guess a lot of people work throughout the week, so yeah. But this was just.
Yeah, I actually prefer like spaces that are not so crowded like that.
Yeah, because everyone's trying to talk,
Yeah, exactly.
over each other.
And spaces seems like people enjoy catastrophe. People enjoy problems like catastrophe in these spaces because everybody says the same thing. Like you can open like 100 spaces in a month and we all say the same thing, the same topic. It's almost as if people enjoy it. I don't know.
I don't like hostile, engagements like that because it just gets you nowhere. Yeah, but yeah, I think we had a pretty.
What'd you think of Deja?
I think Deja was, she had her own, opinion, and of course, I don't like to judge anyone or,
Actually, goofy. Where are you from? Where are you from in America?
I grew up in Houston, but I'm from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just see that. I saw that. Yeah, you're from Houston. There's a lot of Africans over there. It's fine. I've been to Dallas. I lived in Dallas for like 6 months. Hell, Africans. It feels like you're in Africa.
Yeah.
What state in Nigeria from?
Imo State. Imo.
Oh, that's my state.
Oh yeah, you guys are Ebros.
We're what?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's all this talk about Fulani's taking us over and all that bullshit?
Sorry.
It's only basically in the south.
Only in the south.
In the north, yeah.
They're trying. All these Black Americans on this app are trying to use it against us, and they say the Chinese are taking us over. We kiss the white man's ass and all social stuff. Why would we kiss their ass when they're taking our resources?
But Libra, yeah, what part of Imo State are you from?
I'm from this place. It starts with an A. Arundizog.
Were you born in Nigeria?
No. I was born in Houston. So we have another speaker that wants to come in. Give me 1 second. Let me try to add them. He asked some questions. I think we have well, he was pretty mad at me yesterday, so I don't know what his questions are going to be, Wesley Jones. But yes, that's the link I just sent it to you.
You gotta kind of watch out. Since you put a video, like people might attack you, like relax. I don't know. You just gotta be careful.
I know, but I just feel like someone has to be the one to say these things and come out and just provide differences and compare and contrast. But yeah, I'm definitely aware of my surroundings after they reported me to Tariq. So, but that's okay.
A lot of people are seeing your face and all that stuff. Bro, I mean, I see videos of Black people talking shit about Africans all the time. I don't know. I think it goes both ways. I think Africans or Black people are kind of pissed off that Africans are talking shit about them and all that stuff. It kind of goes both ways, but they talk shit about it's both. It goes both ways, I guess. I don't know. I think they're mad at Africans are judging them because they're like, oh, you guys are lazy. Oh yeah, we come to this country and we take advantage of all this stuff, but then they're getting mad and responding and saying, oh, we take away if you guys come here, you guys are disrespectful, you Africans are disrespectful. But like, I don't know, like when Africans come here, like fucking Black people talk shit to us like for being African. Like I was in another space and all these Africans are telling their experiences like with Black Americans. Like the first time I experienced racism was from a Black person, or I've experienced more racism from a Black person than I have from a white person.
Right, I can relate to that. My racist experience has definitely come from Black Americans. Once I first came here looking for a job, I had a Black American lady slam the door in my face and said, "We're no longer hiring," and it's it's crazy.
African or what? Is it like, oh, I don't like you?
I think because I have a different African name. I have a longer African name that I kind of go by, and I think she saw that and just said, "Yeah, we're not hiring." So.
Oh no! When I worked a job I had, my supervisor, she was like, "Oh, I dated," or you're not. She saw my name. She's like, "Oh, you're Nigerian." Oh, yeah, I dated. My boyfriend was Nigerian when I grew up in Chicago. Like, I mean, yeah. I know she didn't. But then, like, when I had that job, like, one girl, like, I was just random. Like, one girl, she started working. She's like, "Where you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm Nigerian." And she's like, "Oh, your people stink. You live in huts, this and that." And then everyone started laughing, and other people started chiming in. I was like, "Well, I mean, you're saying that I come from a poor country. Like, you guys live in Gary. You live in the ghetto. So what are you talking about? I grew up in Munster. I grew up in a white neighborhood." And they got offended because of that, so they all ganged up on me. So like, I still remember that. I'm not letting go of that. Like, I poured soda in their face. I got fired, and like I cursed like all the Black people out. But like, I mean, I saw one of the girls like 6 months later. I was going to community college, and I saw her. I was like, "Hey," she's like, "Oh, I remember you. Oh, how you been? Oh, I got fired too. I remember you got fired." And I was like, "You were talking shit to me. You were talking shit to me because I'm African. You were talking shit about me because I'm African. I think I should do something about that." And she was like, "Oh, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. Oh, I didn't say anything to you." I was like, "Hey, come on, now, why you gotta lie about it?"
Right.
She's trying to be nice to me and all that stuff, so whatever. I should have slapped it.
Right. Well, we do have Mr. Wesley in the building. He definitely did have some questions yesterday and wanted to kind of get down to the bottom of, the Akata versus Africans and also address his other questions. So we're going to allow Wesley to address himself, and provide your questions. And let us know where you come from as well, Wesley. Are you African or are you FBA? Not that it matters, but we just, we just want to know. So. Go ahead, Wesley.
Not a problem at all. Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course. We can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Yep. So I am foundational Black American from Atlanta, Georgia. And what was your other thing before we start? But yeah, I'm foundational Black American.
Oh, no. That's it. We just wanted to know where you come from, what are your views, and we can definitely because me and Kennedy and Sub-Saharan, we're all Nigerian. So yeah, we're not going to bully you. We're not going to talk down on you. we just want to hear what you have to say, of course. So just, yeah, go right ahead.
No, not a problem. And appreciate that. And then likewise, I'm not going to do that towards you. And I think when I was commenting with you or whatever in the chat or what have you, even though I had, yes, disagreements, you can say that I did not disrespect or anything like that. It was just straight questions. Yes? Is that correct?
I feel like your tone was a little condescending with the questions you were asking. You know, I don't know. I may have to pull up the question. I don't know, but
Okay.
Of course you want to clarify it, and I'm going to give you that chance to clarify it. So please go ahead.
Got it. Well, I'm not going to be here too long because I know I'm coming in like late or what have you. And I just wanted to address basically or ask what you said. You basically apologized for your comments or what have you towards FBAs. And so what I wanted to know is, okay, what are you because basically we have these things going on or whatever where, immigrants or whatever saying this, saying that towards FBAs and, vice versa or what have you. But specifically with you, I want to get in that one. So specifically with you, you made a video, you apologized, all of that good stuff. Okay, fine. So what I want to know is, being that you apologize, quote unquote, which I got it, I want to know, in addition to that apology or what have you, what other things, what actions is going to be coupled with that apology? Specifically, and what I mean is that specifically, because your disparaging remarks towards FBAs, and I know you said you want to be a YouTuber and everything. My thing is, being that you say you apologize and everything, I think this would be a great opportunity, being that you are Nigerian, you are an immigrant, and then you claim to say that you're sorry, and then all of that, to use your platform or your platform that you're building up and everything, and go in and seek out other Black immigrants and other Nigerians and other folks in the diaspora or what have you, that negatively talks down all the time, even way before this Twitter stuff or whatever, towards FBAs and everything, and call them out. Call your own brothers and sisters in the diaspora out when they make negative remarks, just like what you did, that you apologize for. So that's basically what I wanted to know, is that you stated the apology. Okay, cool. Now, what are you going to do in addition to that policy? Over.
So I feel that, of course, I can always have a conversation with my group of Africans. And, we can always talk about how we probably need to tone it down. But I don't think Africans are very respectful and they have manners. So I don't know if there's more so like a warning I can give or anything, because they know how to comport themselves. The complaints I made in the video was more so about FBAs, similar to you, and just the actions that you guys exude, the negativity. Of course, everyone is going to have their own experience, and they're going to, identify with that, and they're probably going to judge a group of people. I have no control over that. All I can do is probably, like I said, just have the initial conversation that we should probably tone it down and see them in a different light, give everyone a chance, but I cannot change, anyone's mind when it comes to the Akata word, or if they want to use it or not.
Are you finished? Can I talk?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right, got it. So basically, one comment you said that, you said the statement, Africans are pretty much toned or they know how to comport themselves or all of that stuff. So basically, that statement is totally inaccurate from my experience or what have you, and not just on this Twitter space or what have you, but also out here in these streets when I be, going around or what have you and everything. That is not the case or what have you. of course, I check it and everything. And so, you know, everything is good and we go from there. But my request, or not my request, well, yeah, my request or what have you, is that, you know, anybody can come and then just, you know, apologize or whatever for, you know, their remarks and everything. But, you know, when, you know, an apology has to be met or coupled with actions. Because, you know, again, you apologize for it. You stated you was wrong and everything, but you know, you said you know you want to be a YouTuber and all of that type stuff. Which, hey, I want you to make your money or what have you, right? You know, you're over here and everything. Foundation of Black Americans built this thing up for you guys to come over here and have the opportunity and all. Like, fine or what have you. I ain't even gonna get into that because that's it. Just is what it is. But I mean, it just seems to me or what have you that, you know, you're trying to be a YouTuber and everything, but, you know, in order to make your money, you're going to need, you know, viewers or viewership. Of course, your audience is going to be other immigrants like yourself or what have you, but then also that's only going to go so far, what have you. You're going to need other immigrants too, or unless you know, if you're trying to be big. I don't know the scale that you're trying to be on with YouTube, but I mean, I'm just saying, what I'm trying to get at is that I'm not trying to tell you to control. Of course, I can't control anybody or what folks say or whatever and all of that, but I can check it. And so what I'm saying is that being that you are a Nigerian person or what have you, right? Female, you know, you rep your stuff fine or what have you, right? You're on these airways, you're on these YouTube, Twitter spaces and all of that. So, I mean, hey, you know, I'm just saying, check. I'm just saying, if you're so sorry, if you claim that you're sorry like you are, then check or what have you, that mindset or those disparaging remarks or whatever that your other fellow Black immigrants say out here in the social media world or what have you. Because you know what I'm talking about. It's not like you're dumb and don't know. So I'm not saying control. I'm just saying check. Example, the same thing that you made a video or whatever of disparaging foundational Black Americans and everything or what have you, make the same video or whatever that's talking about your own Nigerian brothers and sisters and all those people up there in the Caribbean and everything or what have you, and checking them or what have you, and saying, hey, what y'all doing, you know what I'm saying, is wrong or whatever. Go in, keep that same energy, but then point it back to your own people or what have you. Your own culture group that you represent. That's all.
Yeah, of course, I understand. You're looking for positivity, and you know I can never deny that or say what you're doing is wrong. We all have to be positive individuals, and I think what you're saying is if I see someone African, you know, talking down or saying the word akata, you know, but I have to know why they're doing these things. I have to know if there's a situation that incited this behavior. So, but of course, if I see something wrong, you know, if I you know, I would definitely alert, you know, let them know and, you know, speak on it. It's definitely reasonable. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Wesley.
Right. I mean, because you the one who stated that, you know, you said you know, apologized and all of that. And like I say, I ain't, you know, not going to do like the other, you was in a space or whatever. You said that you were sorry. We got that on record. So you said that you was wrong. Got it. What I'm saying is how we do what will help you, you know, going forward is not only just apologizing, but you have to match it up with action. You see what I'm saying? With action on, because anybody can say sorry. Hell, for example, I can go out here and steal a car or whatever, or hit somebody or whatever wrongfully, and then when I get caught, oh, I'm sorry or what have you, right? But what is the consequence for that? You see what I'm saying?
Well, I want to ask you that.
And that's the problem. And then hold on, I'll let you finish your point or what have you. But see, but that's the problem. But that's what gets so frustrating. That's what gets so frustrating or what have you, where we have these talks or whatever and all of that, and especially with immigrants or what have you, with black immigrants and everything, because all of y'all don't the disparaging remarks that you made or whatever, all of y'all ain't on that. All black immigrants don't think like that or say like that. I know. I deal with a lot of people from the diaspora because I'm a businessman. I have my own business or what have you. I don't see white, black, green. Only thing color I see is green. I promise you that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But hold on, brother. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
All right, let's wait for Wesley. He's our guest. So let's wait for him to finish.
My bad. Sorry, my bad.
Go ahead, Wesley. We're waiting on you. Should you mute yourself?
I was just saying a lot of black business owners, like a lot of black. Hello. That's what I was saying.
Okay, Wesley's back on Sub-Saharan. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. I didn't know. I didn't even think I was mute. Sorry about that. But no, I was just saying is that I'm just saying going with just apologies or what have you and all of that. It needs to with apologies, it just need to be coupled with actions to actually prove that, that you really feel sorry, for what you done or whatever. And then also, since you trying to make a space to being all positive or whatever, to show, that you are that, with the tax or what have you. Because like I said, even though you apologize and all of that, a lot of that stuff that you said, that was some really crazy stuff. But you know what though? It ain't just, and I'm not just beating up on you or whatever that, but a lot of your black immigrant brothers and sisters or whatever, they feel the same way. They feel the same way, the exact same way. So I'm just saying, hey, okay, since you say you atoned or whatever, all right, then, okay, prove it. Don't just say sorry, but then what you can do, being that you on these spaces and you trying to start this career, whatever, call them out too. Use that same mentality and then go at them. Go at them hard, just like how you did Foundational Black Americans when you made that first video. That's all. And then I'll land right there. Go ahead.
So, well, before Sub-Saharan, Wesley, I want to know, why are you insisting that I should go in on my people that I feel are, similar to me? Why do you want me to, go against them? Or why do you want me to, I know you're saying correct them, but I want to know why do you feel there needs to be action behind the apology? Do you feel the apology was insincere? Did you
Great question. Yes, ma'am. Great question. And the reason why and to answer your question is that the reason for that is because just like with your, like I said, I know you say you're sorry, but with your words and your type of mentality towards FBAs and everything is rampant among not only just in your culture, your community with Nigerians and everything, but all throughout the diaspora. And so, see, what the thing is when you guys come over here and everything, specifically over here to the United States or what have you, that hey, Foundational Black Americans allow the opportunity for you to come over here and to do that. But when y'all come over here and everything, see, you don't check anybody. I rarely see black immigrants check each other for their wrongdoings. I never see that. But the time or what have you that, a foundational Black American or whatever does something or whatever, then you guys are like all up in arms. You like ready to go. So I rarely see, you guys don't check each other or, saying the coon class. Now, FBAs, we have a coon class over here. You know what I'm saying? We have coons or what have you. And let me give you the definition of coon or what have you. Basically, the definition of coon is just real simple. It's just basically a black person or what have you that is siding or what have you with the dominant society or what have you and to leverage and to use all of their benefits or whatever, all their goodies from the dominant society to come back to where they come from and to negatively impact the black society from which they are. Their own kind or what have you. That's what that is and everything. And so what happens is that, and we call them coons. We label them out. We got, example of, Jesse Lee Peterson or, all these other guys or whatever. We know who the coons are, and then we call them out. But see, here's the thing. When y'all come over there to the United States or whatever, and then y'all got all these immigrants or whatever doing all this, all of that, y'all don't call each other out. I don't see it. I don't see it. But you call out FBAs, but you don't call out your own. So what I'm saying is that, okay, again, anybody can say they're sorry or what have you, but hey, sorry is just words or what have you. It's just words without action. So that's why I say what I say. Over. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, I understand you now, Wesley, but what accountability do you take as an FBA for, the angry Black woman term, for the aggressiveness that you guys show, because like I said, I was saying it earlier, you guys are very aggressive. You guys want to fight. And I understand that you have to fight. You've been fighting all your life to be, relevant and be seen by white supremacy and overcome that. And we appreciate that as Africans. We really do. That's why we're here and we address that. But why do you guys choose to fight each other? People of the same color as you. Why are you guys still aggressive? I want you to address that since, you're on here. I want you to give me the reason behind that. And I want to know why are a lot of FBA women really angry and aggressive? Could you please answer that?
Yes, ma'am, I will. So here's the thing, or what have you. FBA, when you say all, I don't, all FBA women and Black men or whatever, we're not aggressive or what have you like that. Just like I could just say, all, Black immigrants over there in your country right now, Nigeria or what have you, right? There's a lot of tribalism and there's a lot of bloodshed on the streets going on right now. I don't know what's going on with that or whatever, but it's a lot of bloodshed going on over there in the streets or what have you. So I can never say all Nigerians or what have you are like that or, out, just killing each other just off the strength or what have you, right? I can never say that. However, yes, when you came on, okay, for example, when you came on and when you gave your background when you was on the other ladies show or whatever or Twitter space, and you broke down or what have you as far as like why you kind of like said what you said. It's basically it was out of frustration. You know what I'm saying, right? Because you just got fed up, and then you was like, one lady, it was a lady, she was a FBA or whatever. She was basically just giving you the business or what have you, right? But then, but then the question was asked to you or whatever, well, did the other FBA folks or whatever give you the business? Because you said you and another person was the only two Africans there, and everybody else was FBA or what have you. So the question was asked: did the other FBA, give you all this smoke like this one supervisor did or whatever? And you stated no. You said no.
When?
Or have you just that one person?
I don't remember.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me. Hold on. Let me. Yeah, I promise. I'll let you. I'll shut up and let you. Let me just get to this point. I'm almost finished. So, but basically, that is not an all type thing. There's no all of us or whatever are just not like just aggressive or just all of this stereotype or whatever. That's just simply not true. Just like I can never say all Black immigrants or what have you are, with bloodshed and rock with Boko Haram or what have you. You can never say that or whatever, right? That's just crazy. That just no. What it is that you have just like anything. It's all about conflict and managing conflict. You know what I'm saying? Americans over here and everything in the United States, all of us or whatever, we're very weak in managing conflict or what have you. But some of us are, are better in managing conflict. But it's all about conflict management, using conflict management skills or what have you. Right? Some people got it. Some people don't. FBAs or what have you, some people got it. Some people don't. Just like Black immigrants, some people got it. Some of them got it. Some people don't or what have you. But, it's not I can never just, believe or what have you that hope if you step out your home right now and then you go to an event or with nothing with majority of FBAs or whatever and everything like that, they're gonna look you up and down or whatever and then just give you the business or whatever just just because it don't that don't need no. And I can even say that, like, even in these Twitter spaces, I be in these Twitter spaces listening to whatever on both sides, FBA, and then all of this stuff. Or I just see, like, it just don't happen like that in the real world like that. But then sometimes it do, or what have you. But what I'm just saying, this all thing, that all thing is not is not prevalent or whatever. Now, do you have some folks or whatever that got issues and then take it out on other people? Absolutely, yes, or what have you. So when that happens and everything, of course, you have to handle it accordingly. You know what I'm saying? With whatever, skills or conflict resolution skills or whatever you got, or if you don't have any, you do, you just have to do what you got to do. Those are individual bases or what have you. But just to say that, FBAs or whatever are just, all just aggressive or whatever or like that. No. Now I can tell you this towards, the dominant society or whatever and all of that. Oh yes, or what have you? Because we know we're behind enemy lines or what have you, and so it's a fight all day, especially for the black man over here, for a foundational black man over here. Yes, yes. My guard is up all the time and then some. However, or what have you, just because I got issues or whatever with one group or a person or whatever, that does not mean or whatever I have issues with, Hope or this other brother and sister from the diaspora or what have you. So it's all about, so basically at the end of the day, it's all about, that particular person or whatever, say at that time, and it's all about conflict, managing conflict on both sides. And both sides have a horrible time or whatever managing conflict. And that's what that is. Over.
Yeah, you summarized it. You summarized it very good. I like what you mentioned about not all FBAs being aggressive, because that's true. That's not all of them are, aggressive and angry. I can admit that. There's a few I like. So yeah, I understand you, Wesley. I see where you're coming from. I get you. We do have a couple of more people that entered in. So I want to see, does anyone have any questions that want to know about, because that's the title of this, is do you get to know Hope's Journeys? It's a professional live Q&A. So does anyone have any questions? If you do, please raise your hand and I will make you a speaker. All right, we have a few requests and I'm connecting you guys right now. All right, let's see who we have here. So we have Life's AB, and we have American. Let's see here. I don't know. Let's see. America has a problem. Okay. So one of you can go first. Let's hear what you guys have to say.
Hey, what's up? Hope.
Hi.
So yeah, I listened to the playback with Connie, just about 30 minutes of it, just to get a gist of how that interview went. So my question to you is, I have several different questions. Did you feel Connie was unprofessional with you, or did she deceive you or mislead you in some way? Because that was going on in my mind. I didn't have a chance to ask. You left. Of course, she wasn't taking hands at that moment. So what was that about? I just want to hear from you.
Yeah, so me and Connie actually met up 30 minutes prior to, just to kind of discuss how everything will go down. Now, she did keep everything very brief with me. I did try to ask her, well, is your interview going to be based on the apology? Because I don't have any intentions on doing that. Like, how will this go? And she said, it's just going to be an interview for an hour and 30 minutes. That's what we'll discuss. And I said, oh, okay, sure. So it was negligent on my end to not ask her. And I do admit this. I didn't ask, well, what are you going to ask me? What questions are you going to ask in this interview? And we never discussed that. And then when we now went to the live audience, it was, unorganized. And I just felt like, okay, she's creating a narrative here. She's trying to make this go into something that's, I don't like where it's going, and I just left. I didn't want to handle it. Yeah.
So where do you think it was going? I really want to hear this. Like, where do you think it was going?
So I feel like it was going to go with Connie basically getting her own narrative of the topic, and it won't be based on Hope's Journey's thoughts anymore of what I felt during that altercation with the girl that assaulted me or physically assaulted me. It was going to be like her minimizing the situation, just saying you misjudged the girl, or I didn't want her to take that other girl side, the FBA girl side. So I felt like the African there. I'm like, oh my God, I think that's where it's going, and so yeah, that's why I left. I really thought they were just going to turn it back on me and say, you over exaggerated and you don't know what you're talking about. So yeah.
Okay. So I heard from you. I listened to the 30 minutes. But I, as an audience or a listener, it sounded like she was just giving background context to whatever the climate was, the term kata, and she was just trying to see, how far you, because that is something that I don't know, like how long is someone living in the States? Are they born in the States or did they immigrate over here? What is there, like for me? I'm born in the United States. I grew up as an Army brat. That's going to build up the person I am. That's going to make me who I am. It's going to affect my behavior. You grew up in a two-parent household or a single-parent household. What is your experience like? Because I had to really dig. Do I know any Nigerians? Yeah, I knew two girls in high school, and we were real cool. Inui and Chinasa. And then I knew a Nigerian girl in college, my sophomore year, and she was cool. So I did not become aware that people from these other countries, Nigeria or Jamaica or Haiti, that they felt some type of way about Black Americans. Even though after college, I taught English to English language learners, to those who would just arrive to the States and they were learning English. I had positive experiences. So fast forward to at least January, February, when Tariq was holding these spaces, it's like he shook the wasp nest. I'm like, what? And I know people felt this way about us. So when Connie was having that, and I promise God, I'm not taking her side. I feel like she was just trying to give us some background to where you can speak and share, what was going on. But you felt, like she was trying to, profit or, I don't know, exploit you in some way. Because I saw that in the thread, and I'm like, I really want to know, because we don't really have time to have conversations and sit and understand what is the difference, what's the conflict, or, so, yeah, I'm just going to go on mute and let somebody else speak. Right,
well, actually, I have a question for you, Live CB, because since you were there, you saw how she played the audio of the video. That wasn't what we discussed prior to the actual space. So I feel like with that already, like, hey, you didn't even get my permission to do that. Like if you really want everyone in the space to hear it, send them to YouTube, share the link, but don't have me as a guest play that one disparaging part of the video and leave out all the positive things I said about you guys, and then okay, go on with the interview like I didn't that so I felt like it was a little shade on there, and yeah, that's just it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair for you to say, oh, I didn't know he was going to play the video of me, and you probably should have said that. You should share the other positive things that I shared, Connie. You probably should have said that, because that wasn't said in that space. It just felt like, oh, you just left. I'm leaving. But me being in there, and I only listened to about 30 minutes, she played what the issue was. She just played your words to provide, okay, this is what this discussion is going to be about. Just this sentence. Like, I don't have slur words for Nigerian. I don't have a slur for Haitians. I don't have a slur for anybody. I live in Tennessee, so there's a slur for white people, poor white trash, trailer trash, whatever. But like foreigners or immigrants, second, third generation immigrant, there's no slur for them, because again, I grew up as an Army brat, so I I am culturally competent of different cultures. And then I get back to the States, and then there are different terms that are used to describe me as a Black American. I'm like, is this something I need to be aware of? So all this time, the teachers I had who were, Muslim, did they feel a certain way about me? Was the joke on me? So it's providing context. It's providing, context. It's providing, like, why is this happening? Why, if I go into a store and if I go visit a Nigerian American restaurant, which I haven't, or I'm trying to think, do I interact with Nigerians here in Middle Tennessee? No, I'm like, I don't even know any Nigerian Americans, but are they, when they see me, am I just going to automatically be a kata, just because? Or no, we're everybody's cool, but like I told you, in high school, I was cool with 2 Nigerian girls, and I didn't feel different from them. And then in college, I was cool with another Nigerian girl, and we were cool. So that's why I'm like, wow, this is brand new to me that people from outside of the United States feel this way. And Tariq gave them a platform, gave them a voice, and asked them questions. And people have vitriol for them that I was not aware of. And I'm like, why is it? And I've really been asking family members who we don't even talk about this. And I'm like, were you aware that people called us kata? They're like, yeah, they don't like us. They jealous of us. And I'm like, I really want to hear from them. Like, what are you jealous of? Like, it's tiring. It can be tiring. But with her playing the video, yeah, I could see how you would feel like, oh, you didn't get my permission. But in her defense, not trying to defend her, she was just providing context. Like, why is this person on stage? What are we talking about? This particular thing that she said, this statement. And then that's when you could have said, okay, Connie, I did say some positive statements. You could have included that. And then, but that wasn't said. It was, you just said, I don't like her. I thought the audience was going to speak. My throat is hurt. I'm going. It was like, what? So, but yeah, just really just trying to hear from you and, if other groups. I did kind of start a thread with that Djibouti girl, honestly, just to see what is the issue? Like, what is the conflict? Yeah, I'm a land.
All right. Thank you so much. So yes, now we're going to go to Wesley. Wesley had a question, so let me go ahead and Wesley, if you want to ask your question, you can get off of mute. See your hands up.
Oh, okay. All right. I think I'm off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, all right, outstanding. No, and I'll just make this quick or what have you, and just like what the sister said or whatever is, this is exactly right. Because, and I ain't about to get all up in the video or whatever. Like I said, I didn't hear no positive things, but you said positive. I listened to the first video that you said, and then the second one or whatever. Yeah, but I'm not about to get all into that. That to me, that's not important or whatever like that, because you already said that you apologize. But I just want to just emphasize, see, and what the sister was just saying and asking you or whatever, it goes right back to what I was just saying to you earlier, what have you, is that yes, you said that you apologized or what have you, but I'm saying, and I made the suggestion or whatever, apology has to go and be coupled with actions. And just like what that sister said or whatever, she said that, hey, what is going on? I didn't even know this or whatever. And I'm the same way with her or whatever, although I knew it a little bit, younger or what have you. But I'm just saying, with all of that, with the semantics or with the optics of how everything looked or whatever, okay, you did, fine. But I'm just saying, you're saying that you want to be a YouTube person and Twitter person and make all, okay, fine or what have you. I'm just gonna say it again and then I'll land or what have you, is that, this is the perfect time or whatever, is to use your platform or building it up, but start calling out all your other brothers and sisters or what have you that's in the diaspora. Because all of that, what that's just saying, is what I'm just saying is that you guys have contempt. You guys have contempt towards FBAs. Not all of you, but a whole more than many of you guys or what have you. And it's not checked. And so I'm just saying, if you say that you're sorry or whatever, hey, you're the perfect example of what have you. You say it's Hope's journey, then okay, make that part of your journey or what have you. I think that'd be an excellent thing or what have you, to start snuffing out and calling out or what have you, other people or what have you in your culture or what have you, or in the diaspora. And I land.
Yes, I completely understand, Wesley, and I'm always open to suggestions. I'm not perfect, but of course, YouTube is that platform that I was interested in talking my mind and speaking my mind. And, if I did offend anyone out there, I understand, but that is not what Hope's Journey stands for. I definitely want to clear the message, because it's important to do that whenever you're on a public platform. So it looks like we do have another listener here, another joiner. Let me see. Non-deportable FBA. I like the name. Okay, did you want to say anything? Did you want to speak or add anything to this? Non-deportable. I made you a speaker if you had any questions. All right. Well, if anyone wants to add anything, you can. I love to hear what everyone has to say. So, yeah, go ahead.
I got another question. Okay, so I'm remembering some of the videos you played. So it sounded like, and you can correct me because I can't remember it verbatim. It sounded like you said my family was saying, because you were born here we were born in the States, but your parents were born in Nigeria, I believe. Am I correct so far?
Yes, you are.
Okay. And then your family would always tell you to not marry or date a Black American, or not be friends with Black Americans, or somewhere in that vicinity. And I'm like thinking, why would they already say that? But you're in America. I don't know. Like when I lived in Italy and Japan and New Jersey, I'm just trying to think, did my mother ever say, she just told me not to be with anybody abusive and don't get used or played. It wasn't a particular race or could you provide some type of clarity with Nigerian parents and what they tell their kids? Because I've heard it jokingly with Godfrey, his parents would say whatever, and he's jokingly said that on stage about, they don't, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, how can you feel that way about people who are not even thinking about y'all like that? Like, really, it's not, I don't know. So just explain why they just try to tell you to, like, I can understand the standard, because I had a pastor who was like, marry somebody with good credit, or with good credit. So, but it was never just marry a Jamaican, just marry a Black man. Don't marry a white, white was out the way. Nobody's gonna marry a white. That was just understood, unwritten rule. But yeah, could you explain that with your parents were trying to guide you away from Americans? I don't know.
Yes, I believe it's because of their own, just the whole African mindset. It's to stay away from people that have a negative influence on society, that are aggressive, that are angry, that will get at you for any little thing, And I think it was more so because a lot of Africans tend to see, like, you guys fight each other. You guys fight the white people as well, which is good, but you also go against your own kind. So we have to address that. We have to make sure the awareness.
Right there.
Go ahead.
There. When we go against our own kind, like, give me an example.
Well, you guys fight. You guys set people up. Of your own kind. You guys.
Don't every race do that? Like Japanese fight Japanese, Chinese fight Chinese, Nigerians fight Nigerians.
No, you guys are more aggressive to your own. You have to understand the context of what that means.
Okay, so what does that mean? Go ahead.
So you guys, are just vicious. You're aggressive, and
an example. Give me a news story, like a reality,
No, I don't have any, current events, but this has been going on since years, before I was born.
Is it just your imagination or what? Give me an example. Like, I'm trying to look and be like, oh, yeah.
You know exactly who you are. You know exactly what you do as an FBA. You know how violent you can get. And you guys exceed that. You know, you exceed that. And with Africans, we're more nicer. Yeah, I'm going to get to the example. Okay. I'm just explaining. So, yeah. You know, just when we look at the news, we see situations like that one guy in Florida that he I don't know, he did something. He yanked the disabled stepchild of his and killed his baby mom and burned the whole house down. Like, that's what I'm saying. When you guys get angry, you go 100%. And Africans we don't do that. So we have to be aware of that when we're obviously coming to America. We know America is the land of opportunity and dreams, but we have to be aware of this specific type of race and group that is crazy in a sense, and that does these things. And
that guy in Florida, that was I don't know, anomaly or whatever you call those people that are out. That was something different.
But understand where I can say
the same thing about the guy who kidnapped all the children, all the girls, when it was like free the Nigerian girls. I forget that story.
Who's a terrorist?
Yeah, he was a warlord.
Who's a terrorist?
Who?
Those are the terrorists that kidnap the girls. So you want to compare that to the average Nigerian?
But I'm just saying that could be like, oh, scary. And then they kill kids in school recently. And then I really don't keep up with all the news in Nigeria because I would have to really click Nigeria.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're talking about terrorists. You're talking about the average Black American, yeah?
He's not an average Black American, that guy that killed his kid. I don't know what.
What about the gangs? What about those shootings? Those are average Black Americans, right?
Exactly.
No, I don't.
What?
Okay.
No.
I'm in Middle Tennessee.
That's inaccurate.
Well, okay, I have to mute everyone because Kennedy brought up a good point. We're both Nigerian, and I want him to speak out. You know, Live Sabi, you were asking a good question. You asked me, what are instances of why someone would be, you know, hesitant to be friends with Black Americans and associate with you guys? That moment, that dangerous act that took place in Florida by that guy, he's not the only person that has done that, and he's an African American. That is someone we would call an akata. So I want you to understand that, people of your kind, and how far you guys go when it comes down to being dangerous. So that's all I'm saying. Kennedy, you can continue, and then we'll go with Wensley.
I mean, it's normal, basically. I can understand why Nigerian parents caution their kids against Black Americans. And the thing is, not all Black Americans, basically. It's just basically most of them, right? And we all know that the Black American community, probably 80% are without their fathers, and it's basically single mothers taking care of babies. And we all know the repercussions of this. Black Americans in prisons, in gangs, shootings, killings. And as Nigerians,
you're saying a lot.
We don't want to get involved with it.
Okay,
we don't want to get involved with it.
Okay, so you just said there are a lot of women, like single parents. Okay, so there are no single parents in Nigeria?
Yeah, but you can't compare. Nigerians family oriented. In America, in Black American community, it's just something else. So that's the cause of all these problems. Where you take away the father. And I'm sure Wesley agrees with this to some extent. When you take away the father from the family, it's disastrous. And in Nigeria, family oriented, we have our fathers and our mothers in the home, right? So this is the cause of all these problems in your community, and we don't want to get involved with it. That's why our parents always advise us to stay away.
Okay, so pause right there. So a lot of single parents in America, you're not family oriented. I'm just breaking this down. But in our minds, we do want to come to America, but we just don't want to be around certain Americans, as if like all these groups are not experiencing this. I'm just trying to understand the mindset. Like,
yeah, but you don't understand. We're not going to pick that anecdotal experience. Yeah, we're basically talking about the majority, and we all know majority of Black Americans. the family unit is dysfunctional. And that's the cause of the problems in the Black American community. Wesley, I think you can say something about this. And you know,
hey, sorry, I want to interfere. I need to interfere. 20 Nigeria. Only 20% of Nigerians have single mother parents, but in America, among the Black community, 75% of Black women are single parents. Are single mothers, but it's only 20% Nigeria.
All right. May I respond? My name was brought up. May I respond?
Yeah, sure, Wesley. Go ahead. We want to hear from you.
Okay. All right. So basically, with all due respect with Ms. Hope and then also the gentleman that was speaking, that's just what you guys just said is totally inaccurate, you know. And again, Hope, I'm specifically with you, and then I'm going to go to my point. Again, this is why I keep saying this or whatever, with your apology needs to be mapped with action and you